All right. Wow. Today is Watch Wednesday. We got a great group of people coming in today. We have the Southwest Florida Young Republicans. Good morning, Pat Gira. How you doing, brother? You
Morning,
doing
sir.
good?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
We're doing great, man. It's a beautiful day. The weather's nice. Cars are driving by. So much to look forward to. I lost a little money again yesterday in the stock market, but we're gonna hang tight because we know things are gonna be all right.
You got plenty of it. You're good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. I wish, but yeah, we got a great show today. Tell me, did you get any rest last night? I know you were busy. You're doing a lot of things.
Nope, I did not get much rest.
Always good to see Mom jumping on.
Morning,
First
Mom.
thing, good morning, Mom. I'm sure my
out
mom will be on as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin Wilkinson too, watching.
Yeah, big Kev. Kev's on. That's good. Yeah, Anthony DeSaro plays that national anthem. Thank you, Anthony, to kick off the show. And then we have Dave and Jonna to take us out. But yeah, what else is happening?
A lot going on in Southwest Florida this week. Got the magazine launch party for Naples City Lifestyle tomorrow. I heard there might be a after hours podcast at Studio 239.
Yeah, I might have to stay up late tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night. And then we got the Southwest Florida Young Republicans launch party at Seat the Table. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Yeah, we do. And we have some wonderful guests here today.
Yep.
We got three wonderful guests here today, but we're going to start out with the secretary of the Young Republicans, Southwest Florida. That's going to be Gracey Saum. Gracey, welcome to the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How
Thanks
are
for
you
having
doing?
me.
Are you doing good?
I'm doing fantastic this morning.
Yeah. What do you think about the studio? It's a little bit crazy,
It's
right?
awesome. Yeah, I mean, you guys really have an awesome setup over here. This is fun. I love it.
We're kind of like in New York. We have people that walk by the windows. And the funny thing is they honestly cannot see in.
Oh, really?
So when you get up to the front, like we can see them, but they can't see us. But it's kind of funny because some people drive up to the window and we're like, please just don't drive through it.
Yeah, that almost happened a couple of weeks ago.
That almost happened we were there. So yeah.
So talk to us, Gracey, a little bit about the Southwest Florida Young Republicans and how you got involved.
Yeah, so originally I'm actually from Massachusetts. And
big red state.
Yes. Yeah,
Natural
right.
progression.
Right.
Yeah, so actually, raised very liberal. And in 2016, I was 16. I was not able to vote. I wasn't old enough yet. But everyone around me, I had been asking, like, who's going to win this election? Like, tell me, why you think that way. And everyone around me was wrong. Everyone said, Trump will never win. There was all the rhetoric around him. So when he won, I was like, what's going on? Why do all these people think, this certain way? I've got to educate myself. I have to find out on my own what I believe in. And when I went on that journey, I decided that I needed to get out of Massachusetts completely.
Smart move.
So when I turned 18, I moved myself down here, left my family up north, and really just found my people through the Southwest Florida Young Republicans Club. And we decided that we wanted to give a voice to the young people in this area. There's a lot of us, and we have a lot of ideas to share, and we want to keep that MAGA movement going. So we decided to get this club together, and we're really excited about our launch party tomorrow at Seat to Table. It's going to be awesome. We're hoping that all of you guys can make it and that everyone watching has a chance to come out and meet all of us and get involved.
And tell us a little bit about the launch party. What you guys got going on at Seat the Table tomorrow?
So we're going to have George and Simona Papadopoulos.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
I wish. Maybe another cup of coffee and I'll get it. And George was Trump's former advisor, so we're hoping that he has a lot to teach all of us when he comes and speaks. He also has his own podcast that he's going to be taping as well at Seats Table, so hopefully we can get involved with that as well. And as a club, we're going to be just having a lot of fun things while we're there, like raffles and food and drinks and entertainment will be there as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds
We're
like a
looking
fun
forward
event.
to it.
Gracey, hold that card up right to that, right up towards that TV. We can get
have
a little zoom in there.
Yeah.
And we have the flyer on the slide.
Yeah,
too.
we got a flyer. We get the flyer on the slide. We'll bring that up. We got to make sure before I forget is we got to take care of our sponsors. But
Yeah.
put that right out there so everybody can see it. Yeah, we'll bring that slide up in a little bit
You've
here.
seen these around. This is us.
Actually,
We'd love to meet you guys.
I'll bring that up right now. So we got that. But yes, check it out. And here we go. Nice pictures on the front, looking good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so make sure you're there at the Seat Table. And I can't believe it's April already. It's 7 p.m. And it's going to be the Global View podcast taping of that. We'll be there. And, I mean, he's trying to catch up with us. Give him credit. George and Simona. But we're having it's going to be fun over there at the Seated Table. It's always a good time at Seated Table, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, so tell us a little bit more about what you do down here in Southwest Florida.
So I'm a hairdresser, actually. I'm a hairstylist.
Oh, okay, very good.
So on a daily basis, I'm interacting with all walks of our community, people who have traveled all over the world, who come from all over the world, and I get to hear their ideas, share thoughts, and just interacting with the community is one of my favorite things that I do. So being a secretary is kind of a natural process for me because I love interacting with people and getting different thoughts and ideas and, comparing different people, I guess, and thoughts and ideas from where they came from and their experiences in life and how that's impacted them and, learning from it as a young person too, hearing people who've really been through it and really been through a lot of things in life and learning from them and, applying that to my own life and giving a voice to young people to learn those things too.
Okay, and talk about growing up in Massachusetts. You grew up a liberal, which I kind of did too, because based on high school and stuff, the teachers. So talk about the progression growing up in Massachusetts, being a liberal, and then kind of making up your own mind.
Yeah, so double whammy. Both my parents are teachers in Massachusetts, so that liberal mindset. They don't even really watch the news. They're just kind of in like, if you vote red, you're a bad person. Like you don't care about others, and that just seems very harsh to me. I would think that both sides would feel that way about the other side. So that's just too narrow of a perspective. I really wanted to have an open mind to things. It just felt too rigid to be closed off to one half of the world. I thought there's got to be some ideas that are working on that side. He was elected, and people want that in this country. If you look at, just this past election, how many votes he did actually get, it's astounding to see how many young people especially came out to vote for him and how they're saying, we've watched our parents make these mistakes in life and make decisions that didn't benefit them at all. And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to have a country that we're proud of and that we want to have families and raise kids in. And I think that whole American dream has shifted a little bit into something that we all kind of have to adapt to and teach each other about and say, hey, this is something that you can attain in life. And this is something that you can work towards and have. You just have to have the right tools and people and the right country to prosper in.
Absolutely. What part of Massachusetts are you from?
I grew up in Andover, which is 30 minutes north of Boston.
Okay.
Yep.
Familiar with that area too?
Well, I'm from Maine originally, so I know how it is. But how do you balance that with your folks and your friends and things like that? Because that's always a tough thing. My daughter recently has figured it out. Probably within the last couple of years that, hey, listen, she lives in Nashville now, but the red side is definitely, it's not always the right, but she's understood that, hey, listen, how do you balance it?
So it's definitely
get
hard.
Along?
Yeah, I definitely try to test the waters a little bit before I get into any political conversations with any of the liberals. Some people are very open to having an open-minded conversation, and they are mature enough to have that well-balanced back and forth.
Parents, mature enough, mom, dad,
exactly.
can you really have it?
Well, sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Some topics they're
funny.
open to, and some things are fair game. And then there's others where, I can tell just by the way they brought it up or the tone in their voice, okay, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to argue with them, but I just try to, in those more heated conversations, just offer little tidbits of okay, when you're ready to talk to me about this is how I feel. I know where you are. If you feel like we can have a productive conversation, I'd love to have that. But if not, then we're just going to have to agree to disagree and move on. And there has been some things where I'm like, okay, I want to hear what you have to say about that. And then I'm going to share with you. And we're going to go back and forth about this for a little bit. But at the end, I just try to get to a neutral point at least and try to keep it a fair balance. I feel like if I want them to hear me, I also have to hear them and give them some reason. They're my parents. I can see where they're coming from a tiny bit, but I have my own views and my own beliefs, so I'm gonna stand by that, and those are, you know, the values that I found work for me in my life. And if they are open to hearing it, I'm happy to talk about it with them. And sometimes yes, and sometimes I'm like, not going down that road. We're just not gonna talk about that.
You ever have to pretend to be a Democrat if you're doing someone's hair and they're a Democrat so you can get a good tip?
I have to play. That is a great question. I definitely have to. I kind of, honestly, I play stupid with them.
Yeah.
I really do. If they're like, I can't believe, you know, they're doing their whole, it's ridiculous. It's very dramatic and overdone, especially like you're sitting in your hairdresser's chair and I'm like, okay. Great. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I have a lot of power and control over this right now. Like, you better be careful. I really just play stupid, and I do try to hear where they're coming from, because I think it's important to hear what the other side is, you know, brainwashing themselves with. But, you know, they'll tell me, oh, Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that. And I'm like, wow, really? Is he? I had no idea. That's really interesting. I wonder why. You know, I kind of play stupid.
Silly Donald.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
But that's interesting coming from a perspective of someone younger, because, you know, I guess the red side or the writer side is more conservative, a little bit older, perceived that way. But I've noticed over the last year and a half, 2 years, it's definitely swinging back the other way. I mean, these kids, I mean, with the exception of some colleges and universities in the Ivy League.
Shout out to Columbia.
Yeah, shout out to Columbia. I think it's definitely swinging back the other way, because the reality is I have conversations with my one daughter, lives in New York, love her to death, but she just doesn't really want to talk about it, so we don't really bring it up too much. But I always tell her, I said, listen, when you start working and you start giving up a lot of your tax money, like in New York City, they pay city tax, they pay state tax, they pay federal tax, they pay tax for everything, right? And you start giving that up and you start saying, hey, listen, do you realize for like every dollar you spend, you're giving away about 75 cents of it? And I'm all about like helping people out that need help, but I'm not really about helping people out that are sitting on the couch all day just saying, hey, it's better if I just stay home instead of go to work, because I get more money that way. That handout is just not there. And we discussed it real briefly with the tariffs currently that are coming on, and we really want to industrialize the United States again, because that's really been gone over the last 40 years,
Absolutely.
right? It's been gone. But the one thing I think that, I mean, I'm hoping, and I'm not correct, but I'm hoping we didn't overestimate the fact that we Americans really want to get back in factories and start working again.
I think that's a great point. And I actually went to trade school. I didn't go to college.
Right.
I took that path instead. And I think, you know, encouraging young people to get into trades is an awesome opportunity. You can, you know, really, I get to work as much as I want, when I want. I get to create my own schedule. It's fantastic. I have the freedom of loving what I do every day, which is honestly such a gift in life. So I think that, yes, there's a lot of young people that are hoping they don't have to work as hard as their parents, but that's because they saw their parents work so hard and get nowhere. They go to work every day and they were, you know, held back by the government that they were operating under. And so we want to say that enough is enough. We are tired of America coming last. We want America to come first. There's young people that are hungry to work, but they just don't have the same opportunities that they were necessarily hoping for. So we're hoping that these tariffs really kind of give the country back to the young people, and that it allows a thriving environment for jobs and growth in this country.
Absolutely. And comment if you have any questions for the Southwest Florida Young Republicans. We'll get any questions answered. Diane Hebler says exactly. And Johnny Fratto's watching, Alyse. So shout out to Johnny Fratto.
Johnny Fratto in the house.
Michelle. Good morning, Michelle.
Hey. No, it's always good. But those are some things that we really need to buckle down. It's going to be real interesting in the next couple months, because we've taken a beating over the last week or so in the stock market and things like that. But I think it's something that I am willing to do to restart, to reset, because I think realistically the stock market was definitely overinflated anyway.
Implode.
Yeah, it's going to implode. I always like to like it to a lot of people don't get it, but when you break it down into a fairly easy concept, on Friday and Saturday nights, you use your credit card, you go out You spend, right? But Monday morning comes, you're like, oh shit, what did I spend it on? And it's time to pay that back. And the United States is basically not paying it back. They're just keeping spending. So there's going to be a point, if corrections aren't made, that it's going to just come to a sudden screeching halt, and we're all going to be sitting there going, why did we let this happen? That's what needs to be done. And guess what? The things that our president's currently doing, the administration's doing, they're making some tough decisions, and they're not really worried about how they're perceived. They're just making those decisions, in my opinion, to get us back on track.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And talk about a little bit about your role as secretary for the Southwest Florida Young Republicans.
Yes. So my role as secretary, I do mostly like the paperwork stuff, so it's not that exciting.
You know who the first secretary of the Collier County Young Republicans was?
Was it you?
It wasn't me.
Oh,
No,
who was it?
Someone better, Miss Erica Donalds.
Yes, that's a pretty big role to fill. Actually, that's a little bit of pressure there.
A little bit.
Pressure on you, yeah.
The future First Lady of Florida.
Yeah, no kidding. So really, I'm focused on getting members signed up. So collecting emails, phone numbers, working on email blasts to send out to let people know about all of our upcoming events. So if you sign up to become one of our members, you get our first notifications for any upcoming events, meetings, anything that we're going to go out and do in the community. You'll hear about it first if you're one of our members. So I really focus on really what I'm good at, which is communicating with people and just getting people connected with each other too. So just sharing ideas, hearing from our new members or potential members what they would want to see from us, and then communicating that to our board and seeing how we can get that all started.
And do you do the social media too for Southwest Florida Young Republicans?
I don't. Our social media correspondent, Maya Gilmore, she's awesome. She's not here with us
Maya.
today.
She does a good job with that
yeah,
too.
She's awesome. She does a really good job with our social media. I just do what she tells me to do. That's what I do with social media.
Okay.
That's always a good thing. Just, do what you're told, get going, and
Do you want to show
Hype
the
it up.
slides of the first ever?
yeah,
Young
let's. Yeah, I didn't know
Republicans?
when you wanted to put them in, but let's take a little look at
So way back when,
Patrick,
2010,
back in his days. I'm going
this
to
is
go
awesome.
pop this up.
we started a little group
yeah,
called
Pat-
the Collier County Young Republicans.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Look at that.
put this up and look
So-
at Patrick. Let's tell everybody who that is.
So it's then Governor Scott, now Senator Scott. To the right is myself. I was vice president. Dean was treasurer to my right. We won't talk about the person in front of me. Senator next to Governor Scott, to the left, of course, is Larry Love. Then we have Byron Donalds, a face you might recognize, and then in front of him is Erica, who was the secretary.
That is pretty cool. A little bit of
Actually, I think Larry was treasurer.
And there's
Larry was treasurer.
We just basically sent Larry to events. He just traveled. He was
the
the only
face.
single guy single person in the group, so we sent him to all the events and made sure he got our name out there. He did a good job doing that. And then I forgot to mention Pierre Guimard, who was the president, is in front of Larry, who's Senator Scott's son-in-law.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
In front of Larry right there. Yeah, next to Erica. Good morning, Meredith. Jumping on. Thank you so much.
What you got?
I'm just trying to read some of these comments. Gee, maybe I should try to do what I'm told. There you go, Meredith. I don't think that's going to happen with Meredith. You know Meredith, she's not going to just do what she's told, but maybe you should try that, Meredith. We got another picture too, Patrick. We bring that up.
What else you got?
What else we got? Check this one out.
Oh, look at that.
The
That's
one
good.
on the left is not a prison lineup. I know it looks like we're
That's Patrick's booking sheet. Not Larry and
no,
Byron,
just
Patrick.
me. Yeah. So that's a pretty cool. I said at the time I'm going to get that picture framed because that picture is going to be special one day. And that's not because I'm in it, but because Larry and Byron, who obviously have gone on to do great things. And then to the right we got Pierre. Forgot who the gentleman is in the tie, but Byron, myself, my ex-wife, and Erica Donalds. At one of
that's
our
Erica
events
on
that
the
we
far
did,
right?
on the far right.
Okay, I got her. Yeah.
That was at Sea Salt. So we used to do events once a month, and we had a good gathering. And back then, social media just kind of started, so we really didn't have the avenues to promote it like you do now. But we would get between like 50 and 100 people.
Wow.
And we'd have a speaker every month. Gary Price was our first speaker. We had Trey Radel, Mayor Barnett.
Was Trey in Congress then?
No,
or
he was still doing the talk show.
Yeah. Because I remember Trey used to run around with a camera for WABI. He used to hustle and bustle, man. Trey.
He was one of our first speakers, and he used to come out to the events, and he was a big supporter of us. He really helped get our name out there as well.
It's great seeing those pictures and where you're at. And I didn't realize you have some high shoes on there because you're almost as tall as Larry.
I'm as tall as Larry.
Yeah, I guess he's getting a little bit bigger. It just seems like a lot more larger than you. Should I say that? Larry, I don't know if you're on. I don't know. I don't know how to say that nicely, Larry.
And Byron. There's two Byrons. There's pre-Byron beard game and beard game Byron. Since he got the beard, just the whole demeanor and swagger changed. So that's when his career kind of really took off.
Maybe we can do a fundraiser with Byron to see if he'll shave off his beard.
No, we don't. We don't want to do that. I think Byron's good on fundraising.
I'll offer to do that.
Well, we actually like to do a lot of these contests in here. So we like to throw them out, but we never do them. We just like to get people fired up.
Yes.
But maybe that would be good. We get like a little haircut day. You know?
I don't think you're going to get Byron to shave his beard.
I don't think so either. Probably he's looking fresh right now with all that stuff going on.
Absolutely.
But so thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We
guys.
appreciate.
You want to give a plug to where you do your hair, or
absolutely? I want to give a plug to where I do my hair. Aloe Salon in Bonita Springs.
Okay.
It's in the Entrada Plaza. It's on the northeast corner of Old 41 and Bonita Beach Road.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to be raffling off a gift card at the event to Blow Dry Bar. I'm a manager over there. I just kind of freelance. I don't really work full time, but
Blow Dry.
Yeah, right.
Where's that at?
Blow Dry Bar. I'm a blow girl.
Is that on Vanderbilt?
It's on Vanderbilt. It's in the Galleria shops.
My office was over there.
Yep.
We just moved over. Yeah.
So if you come to our event, you'll be entered to win a gift card in the raffle to the Blow Dry Bar.
Nice. So a lot of exciting stuff going on at See the
Yes.
Table. Well, it's a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Absolutely, and we'll see you tomorrow night and see more of you.
Yes, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sounds good.
And we got special guests coming up. We're just going to rotate out a little bit. Pat and I, we always got something little fun to talk about, and we'll get our other guests in. Pat.
Yeah. Good morning, Mike Esposito.
Mike, what's Mike got going on?
He's watching Meredith's, commenting.
Oh, okay.
We got people.
Oh, we got.
Make sure comment. Make sure you comment.
Make sure you comment.
Give
Please.
us a shout out.
And
We'll
share.
give you a shout out. Please
share
share.
and like.
And any questions you have for the Southwest Florida Young Republicans, or anything, any other questions? Favorite restaurant, favorite 50 Cent song, whatever.
Yeah, always good. Sharkup writes in, good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Meredith, is it true what they said at CCR at Monday night? They wanted to rename the Young Republican Club. I don't know about that one.
Maybe you guys can answer that.
Not sure on that one.
That one's spicy.
Okay, guys, save it for the show. You'll get your answer shortly, Meredith.
Thanks, Mike. And you can jump in.
Come on.
Come on. And we'll let you get in. Just put your headsets on, then you can hear us.
The president.
The president in the
Elegant
house.
president.
Yeah, the president
Looking like
in the
Jackie.
house. Well,
I love Jackie.
Alyse Fratto.
Hi,
Welcome.
everyone.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes. I can
Yes.
so. Let me see if I can hear my own voice. I can hear you.
Yeah, and you can, if you just pull up just a little bit and then talk right into
talk
it.
in the mic
you're
a little
good.
bit.
Make yourself comfortable.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for
we're
coming.
glad to have you.
You've been at the studio a fair amount.
A little bit.
It's like a second home now.
Don't out me.
No, just Blake Becker's podcast and the After
Yeah,
Hours
and
podcast.
After Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy.
We
like I
have
live
fun.
here.
We have fun over here at the studio. It's kind of like a little family. We got everybody rolling in here. And you guys do, you've been on the Blake Becker podcast, After Hours, a
Yep.
couple other things. That's good.
How was it being on Built by Becker? How did Blake do?
I love Blake. I could talk to him all day, honestly.
Really?
He feels like he's like a homie.
Yeah, he's all right.
Spoken like a true best friend.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's all right.
Mike Esposito. Yeah, the young
Mike
Terror Club.
Esposito's become a Democrat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's just
He's mad. He's lost a lot of money in the stock market. Which
Stop
you gotta
it,
weather
Mike.
the storm.
Stop
Espo.
it. Stop
Gotta
it.
weather the storm, buddy.
Yeah, weather storm. You'll
Yeah,
be
hang
good.
tight.
Yeah,
It'll come back.
yeah, it will be. It'll be fine.
So at least talk a little bit about how you got involved with the Southwest Florida Young Republicans and now obviously being the president.
I am the president. So
Not only a member, but the president.
Yes. Yes, the president. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
My husband actually ran for Congress in District 26 in Florida, and it was a wild ride. So we were on the road a lot. We were on the campaign trail, and I realized that a lot of young people are getting involved in politics. And I thought that was really cool. And I was like, I would really love to start a club and inspire a lot of young people to get involved. So I ended up chartering this club and doing it locally in Collier County.
Nice. And what a difference from the time we started in 2010. It was absolutely hard getting young people involved, especially in the Republican Party. Back then, the Republican Party wasn't, the trendy or cool party. So fast forward to 2024, and you do see a lot of young people getting excited and involved in the Republican Party or the Trump Party or for Trump. But
I think President Trump definitely made it cool to get involved in politics. So now the young people are like, how can I get involved? I want to be around President Trump and that movement. So it's really helped us out. So thank you, President Trump.
You got to carry the torch now, because you only have 4 years of Trump, and then someone's got to pick up that mantle and run with it. So it's great that you guys are doing that. And how many members do you have?
So currently we're up to about 25.
Okay.
So we just got chartered, and that's all by word of mouth. So we're growing pretty quickly, and we're hoping to grow more, obviously. We want to be one of the most successful and biggest clubs in the country.
This launch party will definitely help do that, and you can kind of talk about that tomorrow night at Seed the Table as well.
Sure.
I know that George and Simona have a
special
place in your heart too.
Yes, they're dear friends of mine and my husband's, and they're just really good people. They've been through a lot, and George went through a lot. He went to jail, and it was 14 days, but it's still jail.
And you can talk about that.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know.
Sure. So he was kind of a deep state target. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, that sounds like a conspiracy. But his whole life was literally turned upside down. And his wife went through it with him. So they took everything from him, all of his money, all of his assets, his business, his livelihood. And he did go to jail for President Trump. So he's a true patriot.
Absolutely. And Simona was investigated as a Russian spy.
As a Russian spy.
Right?
Yes. So she was targeted as well. So they've been through a lot. And honestly, they're one of my favorite couples. They're solid people. They're good people.
Absolutely. And talk about a little bit about the campaign and being involved with, significant other running for a high-ranking position like Congress, and talk about what life was like that for you.
It's crazy because when it's your significant other, it really feels like it's you.
It's a little more personal.
It's very personal.
Yeah.
And every attack that happened, every moment during the campaign, it felt like it was happening to me.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work. We basically lived in our car. So the district is so broad. So it spans from North Naples across Immokalee to North Miami. So literally think about going back and forth. That's a lot of travel and a lot of time away from my family. So that was hard.
But you're a Miami girl, right?
I am. 305.
305. What part of Miami?
I was born in Kendall.
Okay.
Family in Coral Gables, Fort Lauderdale too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a Cutler Ridge guy.
Cutler Ridge?
Yeah,
Oh.
just when I was in the Air Force, a little bit further south.
I like Cutler Ridge.
I used to go to Kendall to pick up the Metro to go to the Hurricanes games. And
Oh,
there
I'm
used
sorry.
to be a couple places.
Kendall's not great.
Long
Kendall's
before
not.
you were
Coral Gables.
Kendall's
is
not
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coral Gables is beautiful.
Yeah,
Coral
Gables
Gables
is
is very
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, we used to jump on the Metro, go downtown. But yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about. Obviously, I ran
Tim
for
ran.
local office. It definitely
I
impacts
remember.
it definitely impacts your family, and some of the things that come out, you're just you shake your head at, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this, but you do. So, it was a great experience for me.
Sure.
Would you do it again?
People always say, never say never, right? You always keep your options open.
Yeah.
But probably not the direction I want to go right now. And I'm not getting any younger, so I just need to learn probably how to, just.
Would you do anything differently if you ran again?
I think probably do my research a little bit further before I jumped in. Not that I didn't know the county. I've lived in Collier County for 31 years or 35 years now. I've worked large agency. The big thing is probably put your feelers out before and see if anybody else is considering running, because in my race it was kind of somebody nobody really knew, but he was supported by somebody that everybody knew. So it kind of made it a little bit difficult. And then when you have a three folks in a race, such as the supervisor of elections office, which nobody really knows what that is. Everybody always asks me, what is that? And when you throw a third person in it, which really nobody knew.
But you didn't know that going in.
No, you didn't know.
You had announced way before that third person.
Right. So, but having said that, probably a little bit more research. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have went in anyway, because I probably would have said, yeah, screw it, beat me. So that was a little bit interesting. And I know Johnny had a situation like that. When you go up against somebody who's been there for a long time, you kind of, in the back of your mind, you're like, and yeah, even talk to Johnny about it. In the back of your mind, like, I really don't plan on winning it, but I need to get out and start doing the groundwork now. And everybody says, hey, listen, very rarely do you win the first one.
Very true.
Very rarely do you win the second one. You usually third, fourth, and then, those type of things. True. So I commend anybody that jumps in, and the spouses. Like my wife, took things that weren't, they were directed at me, but it laid out on her. But just going to all these events and going to all these events and helping out, and the supportive, you need that support though, because truly you're not going to be able to do it by yourself if you don't have somebody that's here supporting you.
What was your favorite moment from the campaign trail?
That's a good question. I loved traveling, actually, which is weird. Some people hate being in the car, but I loved those moments, just like with Johnny and me, like blasting music and like.
What do the Frattos listen to in the car?
What do you think we listen to? Johnny a little bit.
It could be. I'm thinking it's hip hop, but it could be Sinatra too. It could be a wide range of things.
He loves Eazy-E, so there's a bit of that. There's Motown for sure. There's 90s. He's like a 90s kid, Yeah. He loves like 90s rock. Yeah. So Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, wow. He's all over that.
Yeah, he's all over.
It's kind of like my playlist. I like that. What does Alyse Fratto listen to, though?
I listen to everything. I like 90s too, though. Yeah. Like early 2000s. Like, I like hip hop, but I have to be in the mood for it. I'm more like classic rock if I'm in the car.
Who's some of your favorite bands?
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, you're going really classic rock.
Yes, classic.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I love Led Zeppelin. I loved the 90s too, though. I love 9 Inch Nails, which nobody would ever guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. And go ahead.
No, I want to say I honestly think, and you hit it on the head, is like depending on what you're doing.
Yes.
Like, I'll be driving down the road. I'm like, hit me a little country, hit me a little classic rock, hit me a little hip hop, hit me a little, even a little bit of pop music. You know how I am.
You've never had hip hop in your car, Tim.
Well, because I listen to the news and I educate myself a little bit.
You got CNN on
you got
all day.
CNN. You're running CNN in the car all day.
Tim listens to Taylor Swift more than my daughter. Yeah. That's my daughter loves Tim because he had Taylor Swift playing in the car.
That's amazing.
There you go. Yeah, Taylor Swift. It's all over my car. Yeah, I got that Taylor Swift channel in my.
I know you do. Your number one subscriber.
Yeah, there you go.
That's amazing.
So besides traveling, something that sticks out for you on the campaign trail?
I mean, death threats.
Death threats, you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny would get a phone call from a random number, and they'd be like, "Don't eat at a Cuban restaurant today."
Well, and if you're in Miami, it's very tough to not to do because
so we went to Trump to roll.
Yeah, right.
We went to Trump to roll. But Tim, there's a lot of wacky people, and you can attest to that, Tim. I'm
Tim,
sure.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, but the story with the guy that spray painted your signs.
Oh,
yeah. So
called them.
It's kind of funny. So down, and I can talk about it. It's a case, but I think a guy. So down on Bayshore Drive, I got permission. Good friend of mine said, "Hey, put your campaign signs up." Great location. So I put my campaign signs up, and they were up probably like 2 months, and all of a sudden at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call, and I'm like, I never get a call at 6. I go, I got to answer this. And the guy's name popped up, which was great, but he didn't know it. So he obviously started drinking early or he never stopped from the night before. So he's like, this place sucks. I tried to get an Amazon. I think he was trying to get in the apartment complex. He was trying to get an Amazon box where Amazon could drop packages off and put it in the box. Well, it just wasn't part of the, the rental agreement, right? Because I talked to the
naturally
landlord.
Your fault that he's not getting his mail.
He goes, you politicians all suck. And I see somebody put paint all over your signs, and then 15 minutes later, after I hang up the phone and I got his name, I got all information. And of course, I'm running. I'm trying to dig information. My background kind of helped me out, finding out who he was, even though the phone told me.
You think he realized you were an ex-police officer?
I don't think so. I go, hey, sir. I go, listen. I go, those are just my signs. I have nothing to do with your Amazon Dropbox. So about 15 minutes after the phone conversation, somebody called and said, hey, your signs are all jacked up. He put F the police, F you, F that, all over your signs. And I'm like, okay, we'll get this resolved. So I contacted the owner of the complex, and he had spray painted some of his signs that were a lot more costly. So, he had paid thousands of dollars for these signs, and the guy painted over them. My signs were a couple $100 a piece, or not even that, $100 a piece. So I called him. He goes, let's do it. Let's make this guy pay. I know exactly who he is. Blah 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 blah.
No way.
He is a tenant in my apartments. Within 24 hours, he was wearing orange at the Collier County Jail. So, not trying to throw out any threats or any type of thing like that, but you probably don't want to piss off the former chief of operations at the sheriff's office or anybody. You shouldn't deface anybody's signs, whether you like them or you don't like them. This whole thing with Tesla is crazy, right? Don't mess with people's property. If you got a problem with somebody, bring it up to them personally. But yeah, that was one of the stories that was crazy.
And he was mad at you over the mail situation. I don't think as a candidate he was even mad. It was just he was mad at
and the property owner is an awesome guy, and he's just like, listen, I think he wanted a mailbox there. I'm like, because when he was talking, he was so drunk. I didn't know really what he was talking about.
There are some crazy people out there.
Especially when it comes, just in general. In Florida. I think Florida's
Freed's crazy.
Just Google Florida man. Any other campaign, something like that, stick out to you besides death threats and?
I'm making it sound so glamorous. I think just being out amongst the people was really cool.
Yeah.
And because the district was so large, I mean, you had your Naples crowd, and then you had your Miami crowd.
A little bit different.
But I love the people in Miami because they're super passionate. I love that energy. And there's a lot of patriots in Miami. I know people think it's blue, but
it's definitely turned red for the most part.
100%. Yeah. So that was exciting. Just being out amongst the people and the support. There was a language barrier. That was wild.
Yeah.
But we had an interpreter with us. But it was cool just, talking to the people and that energy and that vibe.
Was it the Trump Latinos?
Trump Latinos.
Were they the interpreters?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Well, shout out to Trump Latinos.
Maybe.
And the funny thing is the money it costs just to be in the game.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like, somebody goes to me, they're like, in congressional seats got to be crazy, but someone's like, hey, listen, we need to hit the Republicans that voted in the last 3 primaries, super voters, right? We got to hit them. We got to hit all their doors with some sort of card. And I'm like, okay, we know that. What's that going to cost? Each time we do it, we're going to do it. We have to do it about 7 times. It's going to cost you $12,000. I'm like, okay. So now you got to go out. And that was one of the hardest things, asking for money. Never like to do that.
Yes.
But just to be in the game and be relevant, it costs a lot of money to do it. So
costs a lot of money.
Tim just made me knock on doors all day.
Yeah, we knocked on doors. We got chased by dogs. But that was I will say it was the funnest.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
We had the funnest part was the camping. Big shout out to Diane Harris,
Meredith,
all those people. They just. It's amazing the people that actually do come forward for you that don't really. Know you, and I get to know them very well now.
Tony Chamberlain.
Chamberlain. It's just the list goes on.
Shavante.
Yeah, the Browns. Just everybody, yeah.
You want to put up
Johnny's got comment? Yeah, Johnny's got a comment here. Let's see what he's got. Alyse is a beast on the campaign trail. Somebody tried fighting her over in Hialeah, and she was holding my sign. She did not back down and managed to stay classy the whole time. It's sometimes hard to do, though, right? I think Johnny will agree to that. Because people say stuff, and they don't even know you. And, like, that happen here in Collier County. I'm like, you're saying these things, you don't even know me. It's kind of funny, but it's all part of it. If you want to do it, you got to have thick skin. You got to move forward.
You got to have thick skin. Yeah. Would you want to do it again? It's kind of a loaded question, but would you want to?
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, I love it.
I like that attitude. Thick skin, soft heart. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
have a
was
soft
told.
heart.
Yeah, I do. For you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, for you. Keep you going.
Any questions or comments? Keep them flowing, please. We got the Southwest Florida Young Republicans with us, so any questions, comments you may have, put them below. And talk a little bit about your role as president of the Southwest Florida Young Republicans.
So a president, I know you were VP.
That was VP, yeah.
Collier. Mm-hmm. A president wears a lot of different hats. So I'm kind of the one delegating, right? And I have a great board, so I'm really lucky that if I give somebody a task, they usually get it done. So I'm doing a bit of everything. So I do a little social media, I do some of the fundraising stuff, the event planning, membership. What don't I do? I do it all.
Wear many hats.
Yes.
You keep busy.
I do.
Any particular other events besides the launch party tomorrow at See the Table that you want to talk about and
We're
promote?
working on more events, and our goal, like you guys did, was once a month at least.
Yeah.
Like we want to keep active. We want people to get involved. We want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like I want to do like Top Golf and the gun range. I think that would be
Alamo. That'd be a great.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think they would probably
Sugar
love to
Shack.
have
You want to help us out?
you. I can. Yeah, we can definitely shout out to Sugar Shack. Gary's coming on
Shout
Monday
out.
on the live.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Gary, help us out.
That'll be cool. And your mom was out there with signs.
She was.
And that was awesome. And I will tell you, she was the prettiest person out there holding signs down at the
still
7-Eleven
manages to
on
still look,
Collier
yeah.
and 41. And you were awesome, and thank you so much for your support and letting us borrow your son for a short period of time. It's been like
been a
3
year
years
now,
now.
yeah.
It's been a long
no, it's
time.
been fun.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's good.
No, my mom was great. What do you think about all the stuff that's going on now with the tariffs and backlash that President Trump is getting? And are you a little bit worried that MAGA's losing its momentum a little bit, or is it just part of, gotta weather the storm? And I mean, stuff he said he was going to do, he's actually doing.
Right. I think that some people are obviously pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not. I trust the plan. I fully trust President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some people, like especially business owners and others that I've talked to, are just not happy about it right now.
Yeah.
But I think that it will pass. I think we just have to go through it. We have to get through it, and it will make sense.
Yeah.
That's my gut feeling.
It's part of a big negotiation, too.
100%.
I think at some point, the two countries are going to come to an agreement. So
Yeah.
it's kind of who blinks first, but at some point they're going to meet in the middle, whatever that middle looks like.
Trust the plan, but
Yeah.
a lot of the young people that I'm talking to that want to get involved in YR are really not affected by it. It's
Yeah.
more like the older people.
Because they probably have money tied up in the
100%.
stock market. So they're
Yes.
more selfish reason, but more
Sure.
personal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like Tim, who cries every day how much money he lost.
Yeah, well, no, I'm one that's willing to ride
know
out
you
the
are.
storm, and I think it's
And you've
trust.
said that.
It's a trust factor, and
Sure.
I think the alternative is okay. Yeah, everybody, our stock market looks great, our portfolio's good, but the reality is it real? Is that
Right.
money really real? I mean, yeah, when you go to pull it out, it is, but what my concern is what's going to happen down the road if the correction is not made today.
Yeah.
So our country, and my biggest concern, and Bobby and I, he's going to be coming on in just a minute, and I don't want to steal any thunder. My biggest concern is when we're dependent on another country, or we're dependent on all the other countries, really is what it's turned out to be. We saw just a taste of it in COVID, where when you require your materials, your chips, computer chips, all the little things that we just kind of take for granted. When we are getting them from other countries and we're depending on other countries to provide them to us, and they don't do it, this country can be halted in a matter of days, right? Totally just shut down. Yeah. So we need to be dependent on nobody but ourselves. And I think that's the direction we need to do, because if we don't do that right now, we are in for a rude awakening when the shit really hits the fan.
And they said the iPhone could be $3,500 or up to $5,000 if these tariffs stick. But why can't we produce a phone in the U.S.? Because that was the funniest thing is when people were up in arms about banning TikTok because it's based in China. Like, well, do you realize where the phone is made that you're holding in your hand? It's made in China. So, I mean, why can't we make our own phones, make our own lithium batteries, you name it, so.
And we can.
We can now, finding the people and getting, we talk about that, a lot of Americans don't necessarily maybe want some of these jobs, but the only way you do it is you create the jobs at home and start taking care of the country first, so.
Yeah, America first.
America first.
Yeah, and it's a great thing, and we're sitting back kind of watching this. I think, and I agree. I think the first half of Trump's, I don't want to use the word legacy, but his tenure, the first half of it's going to be rough, right? We're going to have a lot of different things, but I tell you, the second half, we're going to all be saying, "I'm glad we did what we did, and let's just keep rolling it."
I believe in the golden age. I think it's upon us. Yeah, I think our future looks bright. Maybe I'm an optimist, but that's how I feel.
That's the way you got to look at things. And exciting time in Florida, too. We have Naples' own Congressman Donald's running for governor.
Yes.
Great state of
Florida. We went to the kickoff. It was an amazing time.
That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Sugar Shack.
Yeah, it was a great place to hold an event like that. And just
vibes were high.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone was having a good time. And
for sure.
And the diversity in the crowd. Young, middle-aged, old, white, black, Spanish, people from Miami.
It was awesome.
From, all over the place. Even shout out to the George Soros protesters who made the bus ride from Chicago.
That was wild.
They earned their $25 an hour or whatever he pays them.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It wouldn't be fun if it wasn't somebody that was stupid, someone running around there.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, make you laugh. Yeah, make you laugh. But it's in, listen. That's what America's all about, right? Bring your stuff, bring it over. We'll just continue to keep moving right past you.
Right past you. I mean, and none of those protesters were from Southwest Florida. I mean, it's clear as day.
Clear as day.
And that was the thing, too, in law enforcement, a lot of people would ask me, what's it like for, to get spit on? Nobody wants to get spit on. What is it like for someone to call you names as a police officer? You're standing on the line and, and everybody's, saying, whatever, lives matter. You know what? I would tell the troops, and I would tell myself when I was there, doing it, I'd be like, listen, we are in this great country. We are, believe it or not, we're protecting someone's right to protest, not to be violent, but to protest. But that's all part of, what we do and, why we're there. So I would always try to explain, like, hey, we are in a great place. We are in a great country to be able to do these things. So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring
up.
Best
country in the world.
And I want to tell our people, don't let it frustrate you. It's not worth it. Just be professional and keep moving forward. And that usually works out pretty good.
Yeah,
amen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch with? Go over any questions that we have?
Any
from
questions
Alyse
from
Fratto?
the
you come from a modeling background too, correct?
I do.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I started modeling when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
So I signed with Wilhelmina Models, and my first ever audition was a My Little Pony commercial.
Oh, really?
And I booked it.
No kidding.
And that started my career.
Tim knows about My Little Pony. Right? Still play with them.
Yeah. Are they still around?
I don't know.
But my daughter,
they're boxed up.
My daughter had me going all different directions. I know exactly what Patrick's going through. It's such a good thing, but man, I get Britney Spears concerts, Justin Bieber concerts, Backstreet Boy concerts.
Now it's Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez.
Well, my daughter loves Taylor
I'm
Swift,
sorry.
man. She's like,
I'm sorry for you.
I mean, I'm just like, what?
Can't force your kid to something else, though.
Yeah, no, but it's like, what? But, my daughter's 34, and she still likes Taylor Swift. I'm like, all right, time to change.
You're not a Taylor Swift fan?
No, sir.
Good. Okay.
I think she's moving to Canada, so we're all set, right?
Yeah,
Amazing.
right.
I haven't seen her. Well,
Bye.
That's the thing. Everybody always says if Trump gets in, I'm moving, but I don't know seen any of them leave.
I think 2 people I saw actually moved. I think
was
Rosie,
it Ellen?
I didn't see Ellen. I think
Ellen,
Rosie O'Donnell
she did
moved to Ireland. So
Good luck, Ireland.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye,
See you
Felicia.
never. Yeah.
And there was someone else. Oh, was it? I forget the Spanish actress. She moved to Spain, but other than that, but go ahead, delve into more. We got excited about My Little Pony, so we digress. I'm sorry. Talk a little bit more about your modeling career.
So it started when I was 7. I booked that commercial, and then I went on to do a ton of different print campaigns. Mm-hmm. So Calvin Klein, Michael Kors, Abercrombie.
Those are clothing companies, Tim.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Very good.
big ones.
Pretty
Sephora.
big ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sephora.
yeah.
My daughter loves that place.
Yeah, you're probably going broke.
Yes,
from
I
Sephora.
am. Yes.
You have kids? Do you have kids?
I have 2 boys.
Oh.
4 and 6.
So you don't have to worry about Sephora.
Yeah,
Sephora.
Johnny's like, thank God.
What
If
else?
they're like you, you're expensive.
But they gotta. I'm sure you're buying other things.
Yeah, Legos.
Yeah, Legos.
Yeah,
And those are
cheap-
expensive.
yeah,
Those, like those kids are $100 a pop.
$100,
the cheap
$200.
ones, right? Yeah.
I'm like,
Everything's-
Legos? And you step on them, you want to die.
Probably made in China too. Yeah.
Pick up these Legos.
Yeah, can we bring Lego
Back.
yeah,
Bring
to the
Legos
US?
back to the U.S. Have you been to
President
Legoland?
Trump? No.
No, you got to
No.
take the kids. They're really
I
cool.
know.
Yeah.
I heard
Is it
it's
good?
awesome.
Is it a good place?
It's cool. It's more for younger. Like
Yeah.
I would say up to 8, 9. But they have different cities built out of Legos and
Yeah.
huge size. It's nice.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's expensive.
It's probably now when we went it was like
Disney's expensive.
Oh, Disney's you freaking need to take out a loan to go to Disney now, especially
So-
if you stay overnight.
Can I ask your advice?
Yeah.
So what can I do to make this Southwest Florida YR huge?
I think you guys are headed in the right direction. Definitely social media presence, which you guys have the jump on because Facebook just came around when we started the Young Republicans, and I actually started that page, and I think Erica Donald's brother actually made the logo for the Collier County
Awesome.
Young Republicans. But just be active at
Okay.
as many events as you guys can be at.
Speakers?
Speakers, you want to have a speaker every month. We did, at our events.
Cool.
If you need some help, I'm sure you guys are good on your own, but if any,
No, we'll take any help we can get.
particular places, I could think of 3, 4 off the bat that would probably look to
Awesome.
host and, host you
yeah.
guys for an event. So, and just,
Please kick them my way.
yeah, no, I would love to. And you guys are passionate about it, so your heart's in the right place.
Got a really good board.
Yeah, getting people
Strong.
engaged. So I think you guys are on the right track, and having your launch party at Seat the Table, I can't think of a better place to do that. So
Yeah,
No, I
and thank
appreciate
you.
it.
As long as everybody wears a mask, you're good.
I
Everybody wear a mask when they go in.
I love it.
you got your COVID shot, right, Tim?
Yeah. My buddy came down from New Hampshire, and he's a comedian. He was at Off the Hook, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard about this Seat the Table. This is pretty close to COVID time." And he goes, "I'd really, I don't know if I should go there." I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, if I go, should I wear?" I go, "If you wear a mask, you're gonna get arrested.
You'll get kicked out.
You'll get kicked out." And
so
he just started
baller.
laughing.
It's funny you
Matt
said-
Goodwin, big
Yeah,
shout
big
out.
shout
Matt Goodwin. Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Good more,
for
Matt.
jumping
We'll
in.
see you tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Matt's
there you
got
go. Yeah.
some shirts we're gonna rock for
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So
And Drew Montez Clark.
Oh,
Good
where's
morning.
Drew at? Where's Drew at? Hey,
Morning,
Drew.
Drew.
Mike.
Mike
jumping
Valdez.
in.
Big shout out,
What's
Mike
happening?
Valdez.
239. Hey, Drew. Good morning.
But this is fun to see because, when we started this, myself, Larry, Erica, and Pierre, it was just young people were not engaged, especially, again, in the Republican Party. So many young people are excited to be involved in
Oh, yeah.
politics, excited to help, Byron Donalds and President Trump. So I think you guys can really do some great things, and I'm excited just watching it now from the other side. It's
cool.
pretty cool, yeah. And I think if you get Larry Love as a speaker for one of these events,
We love Larry.
I think he'll probably bring some people out.
Yeah, we love Larry.
We love Larry.
So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. If anyone wants to get involved, visit SWFLYR.com. You'll learn more about us. It's just going to be a good time. We want to have fun with it. I think that's the main thing. It's not just stuffy politics.
No.
It's engaging
Exactly.
and getting out there and meeting people and networking. And hopefully someday if any of our members or our board wants to run for an elected position, we'll support them.
Well, you saw what happened with the Collier County Young Republicans. One of our members.
There's some big shoes to
Congressman
fill.
and then future governor, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can make you proud.
Yeah, Meredith's asking, are they renaming the Young Republican Club?
So
That question.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, there was a bit of a dispute over the Southwest Florida YR. And to put it plainly, we ended up having to split into two different clubs. So we have Collier County, and Gulf Coast actually has Lee County. But originally, they were named Southwest Florida YR.
Okay.
But we ended up with the name and Collier.
I like the Southwest Florida YR myself. And then just going back, Lee County, back then was the Lee County Young Republican Club, I think. Mercedes started that group, and she works for.
I know Mercedes.
Yeah,
Yes,
she works
I know
for.
her.
She heads up his Collier and Lee County office.
All
So
crushers.
shout out to Mercedes.
But yeah, that's our name, and we're with Collier. Gulf Coast has Lee.
Okay.
Gulf Coast has Lee, but even though it's SWFL, which is Collier.
Yeah.
In this case, so yeah. Well, no, we cleared that up. That's good.
Gotta love Collier County. Big controversies. That's what we debate about. Too many Costco's and.
Too many Costco's.
Not much, yeah.
Too many Republican
Thing.
clubs.
You know that's a big thing.
Really?
Oh yeah,
What do you
people
mean?
are so they want to put a second Costco up in East
Huge
Naples,
right
and
now.
people in that area
Rico
don't want
Castro
it
coming on.
because Commissioner Castro.
Oh, is it an open invite? I did send you an email.
Good morning.
That's an inside
Morning, good
joke.
morning.
So a lot of the people say,
I love Rick.
it's gonna love Commissioner Castro.
Hardest working, and I'm saying
No,
this serious,
no.
hardest working county commissioner.
Nope, Dan Colwell.
Well, I mean, we know Dan works, but Rick is definitely.
Castro, yeah, but Dan Colwell, that's my guy.
Well, he's our guy.
Yeah. So they're saying that it's gonna make the traffic worse in East Naples. Like
I mean, yeah.
but at this point, what's really gonna make traffic any worse than it is? So. And this Costco is so congested and busy.
So we need another one.
Need another one, especially in that area. I think it's perfect. But it's a big hot topic debate button. And
Interesting.
Yeah, in Naples and Collier County, right? The people.
Yeah. Well, what the thing about it is okay. So you have one Costco. Everybody's driving from South Naples, East Naples area to get
Right.
to the one up in North
Yeah.
Naples.
Right.
So people are going there. Versus if there's one down there, then that means they're not going to be transversing from the south end of the county or the east end of the county up here. So give, take, and then I don't know if the last time you went to Costco to go in there and get gas or get anything, it's packed. It's packed.
You can't go there in the afternoon.
But I guess they're saying that, of course, it's the area where they located the piece of property, but nobody really wants it, I guess, in their backyard, even though I would love to have Costco.
I'd love to have a Costco.
$1.50
I'd eat
hot
hot
dog
dogs and
every day.
soda every
As a
day,
matter of fact,
yeah.
that's where we're going today.
Every guy loves
Yeah.
the hot dogs.
I mean, shoot, $1.50.
$1.50 with a
come on.
soda.
I
You can't beat
know.
that
Cheap-
with a
cheap
stick.
guy.
I mean, it's good hot dog too.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
decent.
do a food review from Costco today. Are you guys Costco shoppers or Sam's? Or neither?
Neither.
Really?
We just go to regular grocery
I
stores
picture
like
you
weirdos.
guys Trader Joe's. You guys like Trader Joe's? No, really?
No.
You don't like Trader Joe's?
I like Uber Eats.
There you go. I've never done Uber Eats.
What?
People get all this. I
They
never
jack
done
up the
it.
prices on Uber Eats.
I know it's a ripoff, but it's so convenient.
It's convenient, yeah.
Sheesh.
It's kind of my generation.
As
No,
a
my
restaurant
my
manager.
daughter, she's like
Yeah,
on
she
that
probably
all the
bangs
time.
your credit card with
Yeah.
Uber Eats.
Yeah,
What
my
the
daughter
hell?
said, "Can we just get Starbucks Uber Eats?" I'm like,
No, get in the
Be like,
car.
yeah, $12.
Somebody asked if we're sponsored by 7-Eleven.
Those donuts I brought
Rohan.
in, Uber Eats.
Okay, well, shout out to
Really?
Uber
Did
Eats.
those come from Uber Eats?
Really?
Okay.
I just hated dealing with Uber Eats and DoorDash as a restaurant manager because they were constantly late. Sometimes they didn't deliver the full food.
They'll eat your French fries like
yeah,
Ricky
they
Haas.
ate the food.
now
Now they have the tamper-proof things, thank God.
Yeah, but that still sometimes didn't work. But and then too, freaking gonna get blasted here by Uber people. But the drivers could see how much they're gonna get tipped on the pickup.
Really?
So if the customers didn't tip or had a crappy tip, sometimes the food would just sit there for a couple hours, and then at that point you have to remake it. Yeah, and that was a big
Sounds
thing.
like a nightmare.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Mike Esposito, if you're still watching, how big of a nightmare is third-party delivery? Mike Esposito is proprietor of the
Costco.
Fort Myers Outback.
Yeah, make sure we read these comments, guys.
Yeah, comment below. Costco or Sam's?
Yeah, Costco or Sam's. I like Sam's because it's quicker and easier, but I like I can buy at Costco, if that makes sense.
No, that did make sense.
Because, it made sense, right?
I know, it made
It
sense.
was good, yeah. Costco, I like that they got different stuff. Like Sam's, you kind of go there every time, and it's the same thing. So,
I got you.
yeah. Meredith, every time I put Meredith up, I kind of like
Tractor Supply.
Why not? Tractor Supply, perfect. Oh,
What's
Are
Tractor
you talking
Supply?
about where you locate it out by there by Tractor Supply?
Is that, I don't know what Tractor Supply is.
Yeah, Patrick. Yeah,
I don't know. Do you know what? Tractor
are the hot
Supply
dogs
is?
made in America?
I hope so.
We're hoping so.
I think they're imported from China.
Oh, no.
Built by Tractor Supply. I'm going through these comments. I want to make sure we get them all. Costco is better, but I'm a member at both. Me too. I spend the money. Double down on DEI. I think they might have did.
Costco's a very liberal,
Yeah, I think they might have
company.
did.
They are.
Yeah,
But here, that's the thing. It's like if you really, I respect people that kind of gauge and live their life by, companies and what political party. But if you really live your life like that, you can't watch movies and listen to music and can't shop at places like Costco. So I know you got to balance, but yeah,
Sure.
Costco is they're from Kirkland, Washington. So
But there's definitely places I won't spend my money.
No,
because
I
of
won't
what
go out
they've
of my
done.
way
I love
to-
these comments, guys. Keep them cranking. It's on 41, the Tractor Supply.
I have no
There's
idea.
actually one out in the Estates.
What's
too.
a Tractor Supply?
It's like where you can get stuff for your lawn, your garden, tools, stuff for outdoor things, not for your social media. How to use CapCut, and how to use Instagram, and Patrick, and nothing. We didn't even get to it yet. We have a big contest in here. Alyse, did you ever see the contest that Pat?
Are you a
runs?
football fan?
No.
No.
I don't like sports.
You don't like sports?
No, just tennis.
Okay.
Just so you know, we have this.
Who's your favorite tennis player of all time?
Agassi.
Okay.
We have a little.
Just everything.
We have a little.
That's right.
Andre Agassi. We have a little
The
contest
outfits are cute.
called Stump Pat Gyra, and if you can give us a player that plays in the NFL currently or since 1995, Bobby, you football, golfer. Okay. He's pretty good with that. But if you can tell us a player that played since 1995, first or second string, who played in the NFL, Patrick will tell you what college and they played for. And if not, if you beat him, if you stump him, you actually get from Cody Scott over there. Kerry Scott, I'm sorry. It's Cody Scott. Kerry Scott over at the Alamo.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give you one free shooting session or a T-shirt.
Free T-shirt.
And I take the shooting session because that's worth about $120.
And they got some cool T-shirts
So-
there too.
So
You guys
no
go to
one
the
is-
Alamo?
No, I've
you've
never been.
No,
I
really?
really want to go, though.
Fun, yeah.
Oh,
I want to have an
okay.
event there.
Let's set it up.
I would love it.
All right, we got one.
gonna
Johnny
text
Fratto,
Jo-
Van de Kane.
University of California, Johnny. Don't play with me like that.
Johnny, hold it. Did Johnny get him? That's the big
I think
thing.
4th round pick. He played for the Patriots.
Yeah.
He played for the
Dang.
Van de
49ers.
Kane.
Of course, Johnny was a Cali guy.
Cali. You guys come with the
Johnny.
Calis. Yeah, and
Good.
I guess Patrick got him, so we get a little clap as well. Good job, Patrick.
Thank you.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Oh, my bank doesn't take that, but that's fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's good. Mike's got it.
Mike Esposito's the Tractor Supply is a redneck store.
Oh, is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Right next door. Hey, it's a good store, man.
Yeah.
It's a
You
good
like
store.
Tractor
Yeah, I like it.
Supply?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. It's always good
Yeah.
to go
Drew,
in.
is Drew still on? Challenge Pat.
Drew Montez.
Yeah.
Drew?
I think he's still on.
Challenge Pat.
I give Patrick the same ones every time. Joe Montana.
Yeah.
And he gets excited when he answers it.
Stop
Is
it.
this Dan Marino?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
Dan
gotten
Marino.
that one like 6 times. Yeah.
Pitt.
Yeah. It's an easy one.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. I mean, Hall of Fame quarterback.
Johnny did have a good one for him. So
Yeah. That was actually a good. That's a perfect random player.
He knows a little bit about football.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Talk about living in California too.
California.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. What part of California? But
Like right outside of Beverly Hills, so Westwood area.
was your zip code 90210?
No, I wish.
No, that'd be pretty cool,
I know.
right? Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was actually 90025.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Did you
it
watch
wasn't-
Beverly Hills 90210?
No.
No, it was
Before
your
my time.
Good
But
show.
I know of
It's a
it.
good show.
I know of it.
Yeah.
It was super popular.
Yeah, when it first came out, I mean, that was it. It was like Wednesday night.
90210.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
90210.
that little apartment. I like to live in that little apartment.
No, that was Melrose
What's
Place.
going on? Well, that one too. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, it was wild
That
living
Melrose
there, though.
Place was it.
It was wild. I mean, it was definitely a cool place to live when I was younger and
Yeah.
before I had kids.
Yeah.
And then COVID kind of killed it. I mean, all the cool kids left. So it
Went
just
to Texas and Florida,
Tennessee,
Wyoming even. I heard, too.
Wyoming,
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone got out of there because everything got locked down. I mean, you literally had to show like your Vax card and mask up everywhere,
That's
even
crazy.
outside.
Ridiculous.
Outside,
That's crazy.
like open air. It was nuts.
Patrick, we got one for you, buddy. Ronald Curry.
North Carolina. Played basketball and football.
Can you
at North
fact check that one?
He's from Virginia, too.
Do I give an air horn for you, or do I give it
1,000%.
for Mike?
He's a quarterback in North Carolina. He's also a starting point guard.
There you go.
You're kinda good at
We
this.
still haven't stumped him.
Got to be good at something.
And
Alyse.
because
I'm not
Pat's
good at
mom's
very
on, I don't
many
rip him
things in
on
life.
for it because Pat knows a lot about this stuff. which
Useless
means
info, right?
Useless
Yeah.
information. But no, it's good. We're proud of Pat.
Do you miss In-N-Out Burger?
Yes,
Yeah.
every day.
So I guess that's a big thing. Like they say they'll never really put an In-N-Out Burger past the West Coast. Seems like the
Yeah, but I heard that they're going to Tennessee.
Tennessee. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, and that I guess that would make sense too with so many people moving from California into states like Tennessee and Texas.
You think I could
it's-
Uber Eats it?
You probably could. It'd probably be about $6,000 for a burger and fries.
At least what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get with Johnny. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna tab out
This is the stuff
everything
we
for
like,
the
yeah.
Uber Eats. All right, we're gonna tab out.
Don't make him aware of
the
it,
additional
Tim.
cost.
What?
Is it
Tim,
is
no.
it like double the Dunkin' Donut price?
Yeah, shh.
Oh, okay, all right.
Make him aware of it.
Hey, us guys gotta like
He's
hang
gonna
together.
start digging into it
Hang
on the
together.
credit card. You're
Oh
gonna
my
get in
gosh.
trouble.
And I always go with my
convenient
daughter.
for Johnny,
my
too.
daughter goes to Starbucks. I go, honey, if you were to take that $12 you spent at Starbucks today and you put it in some sort of investment over a course of a month, over a course of a year, over a course of 10 years, that would be worth like $14 million.
I know.
And she's like, but Dad.
They just think for today and tomorrow, not for the future.
But I get it. We
Convenience,
we
you know.
understand.
Are you Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Dunkin'.
I agree.
I like it.
Dunkin'
That's
girly.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
I just like it better.
I think so too.
Starbucks gives me a headache.
Did you hear? You want to just put up that slide, and we'll get to Bobby real quick.
Which one do you
But
want?
The coffee company. I wonder if Alyse has heard of them because it's
okay.
a West Coast coffee company.
Yeah, let me see what we
that's
got here.
expanding,
Let me see.
1,000
Let me
new
see
stores.
Here.
And
I think we're right back here with this.
the Easter Bunny. You hear about
There we
that
go,
Easter
there we
Bunny
go, there we
incident
go.
at the Coastal Mall?
No.
We'll talk about that one in just a second.
Okay, yeah.
Are you saving that for Bobby? The Easter bunny?
No, it's actually a sad story, but
Oh, no.
what's the coffee giant?
Dutch Brothers. Yes.
Good?
I've been hearing about it. I've never had it
No?
in my life.
No?
But they do something called like white coffee.
Why has it got to be
Dutch
white
Brothers
for?
is good. Yeah.
The
you tried
beans,
it, yeah.
the beans are white.
Sounds racist.
The beans are white.
The beans are white.
Okay,
I
man,
mean,
keep
they can't
black-
help it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, white.
It'd be interesting. White coffee.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Well, white pizza.
White
I
pizza.
like it. Yeah. So
It's
that's
the way
that's
that
one.
they're
White
roasted or
beans.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I've never had Dutch
No, never
Brothers.
Dutch Brothers.
But let's go ahead and put this up real quick while we got it. In Naples
really-
at the Coastland Center Mall.
This is
And
really messed up.
Believe it or
actually.
not, at the Coastal Center, we'll get Bobby on here in a minute because Bobby's ready to roll.
He's ready to fire.
Guys over there
shot.
like fired up. Like I ain't got time to be sitting here messing around talking about the Easter Bunny. I got work to do. The Naples Coastal Center Mall, the Easter Bunny, battered by young teenagers, and
Really
it turns
messed
out
up. It
that
was
the
a female.
the Easter Bunny was a lady inside dressed up. Now this is not an original picture of her, but
That is the scariest
but
looking Easter bunny
it's
I've
terrible
ever
when you got
seen,
13.
by the
Yeah,
way.
that is pretty scary, right? Creepy,
Frightening.
creepy. Yeah, 13 and 14-year-olds
Those-
beat up the,
I can think about what to do to those 13 and 14-year-olds.
Why do bad things happen at that mall, though? Can you tell us why, Tim?
It's crazy.
Why is there like
a mall?
I guess.
Yeah, but there's.
Well, if you think Coastlands Mall is bad, Edison
Coconut
Mall.
Point?
No, Edison Mall. That's
Oh,
where
is that Fort Myers?
Pretty rough. Yeah, it used to be pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of stores in there
No,
anymore.
I think,
But yeah, Coastal Center Mall, though, has definitely had some incidents. So
Why is that, though, Tim? It's just because it's a
You got
mall and a
lot of young
hangout?
people,
kids go there,
yeah,
hang, kids
Right.
go, and
Yeah.
then they have confrontations.
Shop at Coastal Mall? I can't picture you shopping at Coastal Mall.
I shop online.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, why
Again,
wouldn't you?
don't make Johnny aware of it.
Yeah, we're working. Johnny, we're going to try to, like.
Johnny's not watching.
I think you need to do. I think,
Johnny's gone.
Johnny, I think you need to do a forensic audit on.
Tim, whose side are you on?
I'm just kidding. You're here, so I'm on your side.
Thank you.
You ever shop at Marissa Collections down on 3rd? You have to check it out.
Yeah.
Is that a friend of yours?
My mom actually works there.
Mom?
Yeah, it's a fashion store on 3rd Street South.
Yeah.
Tim's daughter actually worked there.
Yeah,
back
worked
in
there.
the
Now
day.
she works YSL,
Yeah.
Nashville. She's done
Nice.
all the Gucci,
Love
and all that
YSL.
stuff. Yeah, every store. But Marissa,
check
she
it
worked
out.
there right after high school. All the big, the big.
I mean, you got every kind of designer.
All the different designers have come in there. Marissa knows them all from way back in New York days. And
Yeah,
she
they
used
had
to go
Michael
in there.
Kors
Yeah, Michael
and
Kors
Ralph
and all that,
Lauren
yeah.
and everybody. I mean, just Versace.
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
On 3rd?
Yep, 3rd Street South.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Nice.
store. Jay, good
Jay,
friend of ours.
Yep,
Yep.
Jay Hartington
Yep.
and Marissa.
Yep. So,
Yeah, my mom's there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right, Mom? If you want to go see my mom.
Yeah, go see her.
Aw, Pat's mom. What's her name?
Yitka.
Ika?
Yitka, yeah.
Where is she
I call
from?
her
Czech Republic.
Chica.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ika.
She'll take good
Patricia's
care of
on.
you.
Thanks, Patricia. There you are.
And Johnny said he's fully aware.
He's fully, we did.
Parents
Yeah.
and children must go to.
Why this?
Yeah, she's just writing. It's a little hard to see it, but Patricia writes their
Good morning,
parents.
Patricia.
Their parents and the children must go into therapy for 2 years. Disgraceful. I agree with that. Beating up the bunny.
Yeah.
Not a good thing. Not a good
Yikes.
thing. All right.
Johnny says, why does the Easter Bunny incite rage in teenagers? Because those teenagers got other issues. There's something wrong with them. It's not the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, they got
Poor Easter Bunny.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then look, your mom. There she gets in there. Yes.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She is. I don't know what happened with me, but she is.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
pretty
No,
too.
you're good,
pretty
Patrick.
too.
In somebody's eyes, you are a beautiful creature.
My daughter. That's all that counts.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Alyse.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
Yeah,
It was so
it's
much fun.
been a pleasure.
We'll see you tomorrow
It's actually
night.
It's
Yes.
actually way too much fun. This is good. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank
We
you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
You're awesome. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you.
All right.
Yeah,
See you
thank
tomorrow
you.
night.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
perfect.
Thank you for the donuts.
Perfect.
course.
Yeah, there we go.
Duncan,
Switch
of
it
course.
over. We're going to be rotating now. We got the one and only.
This guy's
Bobby's
ready
been
to
over
come
there
in.
waiting. Yeah, listen.
Making me nervous.
Listen.
Patrick,
Listen.
thank you very much. It's a great honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so
Great
much.
honor.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
no,
Thank you
we
very
appreciate
much.
you coming on.
It's a great honor.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you very much.
Have a seat.
You ready to go?
Get in the camera here.
We're ready to go. We
Got
got.
suited and
Thank you.
booted,
Thank
ready
you
to
very
go.
much. It's a great honor.
Look at him. He's ready. Look
Thank you
at.
very much. It's a
Stepping
great
in.
honor to be here, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
No,
I love the flag.
Thank you very much. It's
love
the
the
President
suit.
Trump edition pin. I don't know if you can see it behind this big, beautiful microphone. I don't know how to do this, but there you go. It's that President Trump pin from the inauguration. So it's really a beautiful, patriotic pin.
I like that.
Thank you very much.
it's a beautiful pin. It's got more
The
colors
great
than any other
president. The
Yeah,
pin.
it has
Beautiful
the
pin.
Gold from the golden age in it. So there we go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Let me
Yeah.
sit here.
no.
There you go. Get that.
So introduce Bobby a little bit there for us, Patrick.
Bobby is the vice president of the Southwest Florida Young Republicans. And you could talk a little bit about yourself and your role as vice president. I'm a former vice president of the Collier County Young Republicans.
Well, it's an honor to join you, Patrick and Tim, again. Thank you. You know, I was afforded the opportunity to live the American dream by the grace of God, Jesus Christ, and two amazing adoptive parents from Moldova. And I want to afford that opportunity to live the American dream to my children and grandchildren and to the next generation. So it's with great reverence, humility, and honor that I stand alongside President Trump, Vice President Vance, the cabinet and the second administration, in making America great again, ushering in the golden age, and putting America first. And there's no better vehicle or medium with which to do that than as a proud Vice President of the Southwest Florida Young Republicans, under the purview and leadership of Alyse Fratto, our president. And that's why I'm in this fight with President Trump and MAGA patriots.
Wow, that's good.
You
Bobby.
are you running for office?
Bobby, you're looking sharp. I
Thank
love
you very
that.
much. My sole focus over the course of the next 2 years, 2025 and 2026, is to help those declared candidates get elected. Those candidates that have pled 100% to be behind President Trump, push forth America First policies. But let me make something crystal clear. I do have aspirations for higher political office, and I will seriously weigh that decision with my fiance and family in the coming years, and we'll have announcements to make down the road. Absolutely.
Smart guy.
Yeah,
I love it. I love
ready to
it.
go.
You're lined up. Bobby, may I ask how old are you?
25 will be 26 on May 20th.
Hey, you're squared away.
25
Thank you
going
very
on
much.
55. Holy
Where'd you grow up
smokes.
at?
So I grew up in the Tampa Bay area,
Okay.
in Oldsmar, Florida, 40 minutes out from St. Pete. Grew up going to Rays games when they were the Devil Rays even, so it goes that far back. My dad's an avid fan of baseball, but I got the itch for golf. So it's really a tremendous athletic family.
I love it.
And what got you involved in politics? And when did you
So,
get involved in politics?
That's a great question, Patrick. I've been involved in politics now for 13 years.
Okay.
You know, it started out when Mitt Romney was the standard bearer of the Republican Party, became the nominee in 2012. I attended the convention on the convention floor alongside one of my dad's friends who was a delegate. And I've had the itch ever since then to get involved in politics and been involved in politics at the FGCU college Republican level. I've also been involved with Roger Stone and helping to run local campaigns for DA. And I've had the opportunity to work with Americans for Prosperity and helping to pass the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act along President Trump in his first term. So we've had a lot of experience all centered around the American people and putting them first.
He's not reading off a teleprompter, folks. I promise you. That's
You think Biden could do this? I don't think so. I don't think Biden could be up here right now.
I think Biden's on his
You've
third
got
nap.
a polished politician, Jen Mitchell. Thanks for
so
jumping
you got
in.
I don't know
School board.
so
Thank you
I don't-
very much, Jen.
Jen
Great
Mitchell
honor.
is great people to get that seal of approval. Shout out to Jen
She
Jen
writes
Mitchell.
in
She's
polished.
awesome. Love Jen.
Thank
Mitchell.
you, Jen.
Mike writes in, oh man, Bobby is a natural politician. He's got it. He'll be voting for him soon. You just have to tell me when somebody, you can just tell when somebody has it. Bobby, we're going to look back at this day right here. We're going to be like, this is a
Beginning of
star.
your
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Stars born. A star is born. Okay.
Hey, do it. Stars.
Stars born. But we're going to talk about the big, beautiful tariffs, the big, beautiful bill. I'm looking forward to that because we're bringing back the country. We're bringing back the country. I just want to say something about
You've
tariffs.
been
I know it
prepared
was
for this
brought
all
up.
your life.
I was
this is
born
what
for
you're
this.
meant to be.
I was born for this by the grace of God. I tell people it's in my DNA. My DNA is MAGA Trump politics. But I want to say something real quick, if you don't mind, Tim, about tariffs. President
Yes,
Trump
please.
is the greatest negotiator to sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. He's the greatest negotiator the world's ever seen. Let President Trump negotiate. President Trump is the only president to put the American worker and the American economy first. He's looking out for those folks on Main Street, not the elites on Wall Street. For 6 decades, the American economy and worker has been ripped off by foreign nations, foe and ally alike. In just the short 12 months, we're going to be bringing in $600 billion from revenue from the reciprocal tariffs and $100 billion in revenue from the 25% auto tariffs, all going into the Treasury General Fund. And that's America's checkbook. This tariff revenue is going to pay down the national debt and help cut taxes across the board for the American people. But let's be clear, tariffs are not the underlying evil. It's what we call the non-monetary, non-tariff barriers. And what do I mean by that? Well, EU and foreign nations have built structural unfairness into their markets. For example, in 2012, we made a deal with Korea, Tim and Patrick, and we said, we'll sell your cars in our market, Hyundai and Kia. And in exchange, the United States is going to sell their agricultural products into Korea. So McDonald's goes into Korea in 2012 under that agreement, trying to sell their French fries. And the EU says, you can't sell French fries because you can't source 100% where that potato came from. What kind of a terrible deal is that? But, oh, by the way, that's more devastating than a tariff. We can't sell corn into India, but we take India's corn. We can't sell beef into Australia, but we import Australia's beef to the tune of $3 billion. These non-monetary tariff barriers are the real evil. Just because you lower your tariff from, let's say, 46% to zero, I think like Vietnam, they're still going to be at a trade deficit because China's going to use them to transship products, to evade tariffs. And that's why there's no exclusion on the tariff list and why every country, island, territory is hit with a 10% minimum baseline tariff. Because President Trump knows they try to evade tariffs by using those islands. So these tariffs are working. They're working. They're working. Don't be a panicking. Sit tight. Hang tough. We are going to have so much money. The Dow's going to hit 50,000 at the end of President Trump's term. And again, you have to remember, from 1870 to 1913, we were the richest country in the world. We were so rich, we set up a commission. We didn't know what to do with all this money. And then some genius said, I'm going to import or institute the income tax. In 1913, that's what destroyed this country. So we have to get back to tariffs, and it's going to be the External Revenue Service, as Secretary Howard Lutnick says, of Commerce. It's going to be the External Revenue Service, and I'm so proud to stand beside Treasury Secretary Bessent, White House Economic Advisor Peter Navarro, and Kevin Hassett, the advisor on the National Economic Front. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Thank you very
No,
much.
but it all truly, you're throwing out a lot of information,
Right.
a lot of good stuff, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are
Back to basics, kind
Yeah,
of.
back to basics. We got so much catching up to do, and if we don't do it now, we're going to see huge consequences down the road. And it's a little bit tough for us, a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit of fear of the unknown.
And you make such a good point, Tim. And as a former J.P. Morgan Chase relationship banker and market commentator, I have a unique appreciation and understanding for those folks who are reliant upon the 401k and fixed income. Those concerns are real. And President Trump and his economic team hears you, and he factored that into these tariffs. He understands there's going to be a slight disruption, just like in the 80s when Reagan pulled us out of the Carter malaise from the great inflation. There was a little disruption. But under Reagan, we had tremendous economic success. And let's stop and dispel this myth that we don't know what President Trump's tariffs are going to do. We've had 4 years of a successful track record of tariffs. He instituted it in the first term, and we had amazing wealth. This is not a hypothetical. These tariffs work. President Trump has a track record of success. So let's dispel that narrative.
Your fiance's, have you ever seen him speak like that? Because you look like
Hold on, we got it.
blown away, shocked, or I don't know.
She goes,
Is
I'm
this what
used
you
to
guys
it.
debate
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the dinner table
You
about
know,
tariffs?
I let her
Oops,
win.
sorry, guys.
I let her win.
Smart man.
Smart. I'm well trained, domesticated, right? But someone said to me, "What is a woman?" I said, "A woman is someone who can have a baby under certain circumstances. A woman is someone who is much smarter than a man in every circumstance that I've found, and we have to protect and cherish our women because right now the Democratic Party is a party of anti-women. They're allowing men to beat up women in women's sports, and we've about had it. They're on the 5% side of a 95-5 issue." And Governor Mills of Maine, thank God President Trump stripped her of her federal funding. And he's taking away all their federal funding for violating Title IX. And I couldn't stand more proudly with Riley Gaines and the women of America. It's time we protect them.
What? But
You
why?
see what he just did there? He transitioned. I threw out a topic, and he just transitioned into
Yeah, no, it was
political. That's
Yeah, no, it was great.
smooth.
But why are those lefts taking so hard stances with 5%? Like, why doesn't a governor of Maine, for example, why don't they understand that they got voted in by their constituents and their own constituents? Small percentage of people in Maine are saying, "Yeah, we're proud of you. Thank you for standing up." But I will tell you that 75 to 80, probably 90% are like, "No, I don't." Anybody who tells me that a man should be playing volleyball or in boxing ring with a girl, something's not right with him. It just doesn't make
Follow
sense.
the money, Tim.
But why are they doing that?
What do you think's backing those people?
An excellent segue, Patrick. The Democratic left, for at least the last 10 years, has boxed themselves in, and they've done this to themselves. Anything that is pro-Trump, they're forced to take the anti-Trump position, and Trump has boxed them into insanity while Trump takes the normalcy side. So by their insane DEI and gender divisive ideology stances, they box themselves in, and they're so
Tight.
gung-ho, and they're clinging so hard to identity politics because it's what the party has become for the last 2 decades. They cannot divorce themselves from identity politics. They can't divorce themselves from race baiting. It's because it's what all they know, because Trump boxed them into that corner. So it's a digging of their own grave. And I'm loving it. Keep it up. Keep it up, Crockett. Crockett, keep opening your mouth. And let's make her the face of the party. I love it. Keep it up, Crockett.
That's fired.
She's the face of the Democratic Party with Bernie and AOC. Let's keep
Kind
it
of
up.
cute, doing little backflips and doing her little jumping jacks.
She insulted an American hero.
It's
Governor
crazy.
Greg Abbott. He's
It's
an
crazy.
American hero, and she owes him an apology.
Yeah.
Well, and just wanted to touch on one other note, Tim, but I'll let you go.
No. I'm just trying to hit some of these comments
Floor is yours,
because
Senator.
hey, they're rolling.
Yeah, no, I also wanted to talk about the no.
Bobby,
rogue-
these comments are coming. I got to get them up here. I got to talk about them. But
Right.
no, it's great.
But,
have you been seeing the comments?
I have, and they've been tremendous. I see one here. This
Yeah.
guy must be a teacher at our schools and universities. I also wanted to say something to that response, directly to that comment, is Erica Donalds, Florida's next First Lady. She's an American patriot through education activism. She's with the American First Policy Institute and actually brought up Optima Ed, which is Florida's first virtual reality school. So she's an American hero on the front lines. She also stood arm in arm with Linda McMahon when she helped to dismantle the Department of Education by splintering the student loans under Kelly Loeffler at the Small Business Administration, and they splintered the special needs and nutrition aspect under RFK at the Health and Human Services Secretary. So Erica Donalds is a true patriot in this education dismantling fight, and it's just so wonderful that they're taking that nationwide. So I just wanted to commend Erica Donalds on that as well.
Tag Erica Donalds. Shout out Erica Donalds.
Yeah, really, she's really taking the lead on education.
It's amazing.
What do you say to the people that are saying, listen, we're dismantling our education department? Why are we doing that, number one? And why is that beneficial to our country?
You know, you have to understand the history. It's a great question, Tim. The history of the teachers union and really Department of Education goes back to 1979. Carter created it to pay the teacher unions back for electing him. It has never been about America's children. It's always been about funneling money to the teachers union and the radical left. They've put the students last at every turn. A new poll came out. 74% of America is dissatisfied with the Department of Education, and only 23% approve. And furthermore, 30% of fourth graders are proficient in math and reading, and 38% of eighth graders are proficient in math and reading. As far as I'm concerned, they have failed America since 1979, and it was high time we dismantled the Department of Education. Every president before President Trump talked about it. President Trump did it.
Well, that's it. And the thing is, I think people have talked about it, and I think some of this hardness towards Trump is because he's actually doing it. And all Trump has to do is say, the people wanted this, they voted me in.
Yep.
And he just keeps referring back to that.
That's
and
right.
how can you go wrong with that? Because
No.
he's making good on what he has promised the people. Now we're gonna have to play it out and see how it goes. I'm with the rest of it. Rest of you folks here is I have trust and I'm confident that things are gonna be good and great, and we're in the golden age as well.
Absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. And I think what's really important as well to talk about is Darrell Issa's No Rogues Ruling Act that he's going to help pass through the Congress to hold these unelected district judges accountable.
Yeah, that's
For
crazy,
example,
right?
this radical left Obama appointee, James Boasberg of the D.C. District Court. So he is the chief district judge of that court. There's 18 total judges. There was only a 6% chance that James Boasberg sat in all 4 Trump cases. So the first time you think, well, this is bad luck. The second time, this is a coincidence. The third time is enemy action. It's crystal clear that these judges in the Democratic Party are court and venue shopping to issue national injunctions illegally and unconstitutionally to thwart the Trump administration agenda. And this is wrong, and this No Rogues Ruling Act is going to put an end to that. This is the constitutional crisis. This is the Democrats' last lever of power, and they're using it to the courts. But we're on to them, and we're exposing them for this fraud. And it's illegal and unconstitutional. And I'm totally back Darrell Issa's No Rogues Ruling Act.
Yeah. To have a judge, and I'm just being generic here a little bit,
Right.
to have judges rule and stop things that are happen at the national level is crazy. And the left is actually seeking out these rulings, seeking out these judges, and working against what the Trump and the administration is trying to do. So yeah, something's got to change. Something's got to change.
And to kind of put a fine point on that, Tim, this act is essentially going to say your jurisdiction only goes to the parties before you and to your district, not the other 92 districts in America. So we're going to limit their illegal and unconstitutional abuse of power through this act. And it's so important we do it now because, again, this is the one thing that could slow roll the Trump administration, is the courts. It's the only lever of power the deep state has. And I think it's so important we keep parroting that and bringing that to the forefront so they can't get away with it.
Good morning, Blake Becker.
Blake Becker, yeah, we got it up there. Yep.
Safe travels.
Real quick, Bobby, tell us about, you live here in Collier County?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely, a local.
Tell us why you're here.
Sure.
What we know that you're the VP for the Young Republican Club. Tell us about what you are trying to accomplish with the Young Republican Club and why you're in Collier County, how you got here, and why you want to stay here, or what your plans are.
Sure. Thank you, Tim. I'm here in the Freedom State, Trump country.
Freedom Town, USA.
Absolutely. Perfectly said.
Mayor of Freedom Town, USA, Patrick Dearborn. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
But he's a great patriot. He really is. He's
Which
done so
one?
well. Patrick Dearborn.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's a great patriot.
Tim bet me I couldn't not mention Patrick Dearborn for an entire show. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
$50.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Nice.
Please. No.
Shout out Patrick Dearborn.
We love Patrick Dearborn.
Patrick Dearborn
We got a
will be
lot
in
of
the
people
studio
watching
later
today, though. I will say there's a.
I like Patrick Dearborn. Is there something wrong with that?
I love Patrick Dearborn too. We got YouTube going. We got Facebook going. We've got the website going. We got it all going.
I think, Tim, sort of to kind of bring it back to the center, I think I am here because, again, by the grace of God, but I also think it's so important that we instill the national pride of this country back into the youth of America. Let's be proud to pray in public. Let's be proud to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's not be afraid to speak our minds politically on the left or the right. Let's get back to a place where we can have civil discourse and disagreement without violence. And we've almost gotten used to flogging ourselves in a way and being ashamed of who we are as Americans. And we're in this sort of malaise. We're kind of losing our sense of pride, and I want to restore that sense of pride and nationality that we had in the 80s under President Reagan, the great communicator. So that's large in part why I'm in this fight. We have to restore national pride, because really without it, you don't have a country. And of course, you don't have it with the open borders that Biden opened with Kamala. They purposely did that to steal the elections going forward and create a one-party state, 30 million illegals. But you have to bring us back to being proud to be Americans. And that's why I'm in this fight, Tim, and that's why I'm here in Collier, deep red Collier, but I also want to continue to spread the roots beyond, even into those deep blue states, and save them. That's why I'm here in this fight.
And how'd you end up here? I mean, how did
Sure.
Collier?
I'll tell you
It's
the
good. It's a good
background.
story because, we got somebody like you here in Collier. We're glad we got somebody like you.
Thank you.
And, tell us how you
Sure.
got it.
So I ended up coming to Collier County really because I'm attended Florida Gulf Coast University.
Okay, good.
So majoring in finance. And that brought me down here, and subsequently my parents decided to retire around that same time. So we took the U-Haul from Oldsmar, Florida, all the way down to Collier County in 75 South. And we've been here for 7 years now. So it was initially college that brought me here. But During my 7 years, I fell in love with the beaches, the nature, the parks, the people, the community, the sense of pride. And that's what's kept me here. And I just couldn't be more proud to be here and really start a life with children eventually and just live and enjoy it. Because life is short. It really is short. And you never know if that day is going to come tomorrow. You're not guaranteed anything. So every day I'm on this earth, we have to, with a sense of urgency, make America great again and usher in the golden age alongside President Trump.
And we'll talk about a little bit about Congressman Donalds and what you guys are going to be doing to help Byron become the next governor of Florida.
Well, and again, I'm going to be speaking in my personal capacity.
Yeah.
And as regards to this question,
Please.
I couldn't be more proud of President Trump's endorsement of Congressman Donalds and our 47th governor of Florida. And I think that it's impertinent that we work hard to get him elected, boots on the ground, knocking doors, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Congressman Donalds has now been in Congress for 3 terms. He sits on the Oversight Committee, and he did an incredible job of holding Boston's disgraced radical left mayor, Michelle Wu, accountable for her sanctuary city policies. She puts illegal aliens over her own citizens and children, and she endorses them and does their bidding through policies and rhetoric. And Congressman Donalds also is an incredible individual who works in a bipartisan fashion across the aisle. He's actually working with Congressman Jared Moskowitz, a Democrat of Florida's 23rd district, on what he calls inefficient FEMA. And Congressman Donalds and Congressman Moskowitz are going to make it more efficient. People are under the assumption that FEMA is an action agency. It's a bureaucratic accounting agency lodged in the Department of Homeland Security. And Congressman Donalds and his bipartisan work with Jared Moskowitz, and they're going to make that responsive to the people on the ground who are facing natural disasters, so that the president and governor have a direct line. So Congressman Donalds is not only an American hero and a MAGA patriot, but he has demonstrated he can work across the aisle with Democrats and get the work done for the American people. And I couldn't be more proud to help him get elected. And I know he's going to win in a tremendous landslide. And again, he's backed by President Trump, the greatest president to ever sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office.
You think so? You think President Trump is the greatest president of
Oh,
all
no
time?
question. And again, I think right up there with him, Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. I want to, of course, preface that. But a figure like President Trump comes along once in 100 years. We had Washington, we had Lincoln, and now we have President Trump. And it's just an incredible opportunity to be alive under his two terms.
Where would you rank President Reagan? Because some people consider him to be the
Sure, absolutely.
president
I
of
would
at least
say
their lifetime.
Oh, he's right up there in the top four. All those. They're tremendous.
So that would be your
presidents.
Mount Rushmore for presidents: Washington, Lincoln, Trump, and Reagan.
President Trump front and center, and then flanked by Washington, Lincoln, and
Oh, you
Reagan.
got the spots picked out already.
Oh,
for him.
President
You know
Trump
exactly
front
where.
and center. He has to be front and center.
How are we going to like chisel off the other ones and move them around? That's going to be a little difficult.
Well, we're
Red
gonna-
hat, white hat.
I know.
Come on, Bobby.
Right. It's a lot of work, but we're going to do it ahead of time and under budget with President Trump's companies, and we're going to do it the right way. We're going to chisel them out with
And
Trump.
Mexico will pay for it.
Oh, with the peso, like you wouldn't believe it. Oh, and Claudia Sheinbaum, she would fold like a cheap suit. Okay? That's a president of Mexico, and she would do it. Oh, she's already folding like no tomorrow on the border and tariffs. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's go. This is great.
Let me ask you a question, though, just play devil's advocate. If Casey DeSantis gets in the race for the governorship of Florida, what do you handicap the odds of that race, a potential Congressman Donalds versus Casey DeSantis?
First and
Square
foremost, Casey DeSantis was on the front lines of protecting moms and children during COVID, and she led that charge, and I couldn't be more proud of our First Lady and her husband, Governor DeSantis, also for creating a bastion of freedom that the rest of the world and the country looks to. They have also have my tremendous support, and Governor DeSantis does as well. As far as the race between, or potential hypothetical between Casey DeSantis and Congressman Donalds, I think that's the beauty of American democracy. Everyday Americans stepping up to run for office and exchanging ideas based on merit and stress testing those ideas. So I think anytime there's an open primary, mini convention, so to speak, it only strengthens the candidates in the race. And I certainly encourage and invite anybody who wants to run for governor of Florida to run and share your ideas with the American people. And I think that's an incredible testament to our constitutional republic. And I would encourage her to run, Congressman Donalds to run, I know he's declared, or anybody else who wants to run, because that's the beauty and fabric of America, and it's what has allowed us to be the 248-year standing constitutional republic we are today.
Okay, you just gave me a political answer, though. I said handicap the race if Casey gets in.
I have to, with caution, tell you this answer.
I've been in this game for a minute. I know you gave me a political answer. I'm asking you for
You're
your
a smart guy.
opinion.
Look, I have to stand firm and say it's what's made our constitutional republic stronger than ever, and I am encouraging anybody to get in, to stress test the ideas and make Donald a stronger
question,
candidate.
are you? I'm
Again,
just
I
asking
think
for your expert advice. You obviously follow politics very closely.
Sure.
How would you
How do you know he
handicap the
does?
race?
How do you know he follows?
Yeah, how do you know that? Yeah, I could have just.
How do you know?
Yeah,
that?
come on, man.
I think he was following politics when he was in the womb.
Yeah, I know he was.
I really was. She had OAN on Fox News and all these beautiful channels and True Social. The answer, it's tough because you have to look at the situation, right? I don't know necessarily if we want to engage in what Ronald Reagan called the violation of the 11th commandment, engage in friendly fire, and I won't do that. I'm going to stand alongside all MAGA Republicans.
Okay, fair enough. I wanted your opinion, but
Well, you know, he did give it to you, but just a little bit from the outside, from the grand
50,000 foot view.
Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about your favorite. Let's talk about you a little bit. Your favorite location in Naples, Florida, or let's go Southwest Florida, to take your fiance out to dinner?
Well, we really do like Del Mar on Fifth Avenue. I've taken her there on countless occasions for birthdays, anniversaries. So we really do love Del Mar on Fifth Avenue. We sit on the outside balcony looking down. You think you're in Paris or Italy. It's really a tremendous view.
C-SPAN, your
It's
favorite
different
TV
than
show?
it's different than Costco.
Yeah.
I think so, a little.
A little more classy.
No, we go there too. I act like I'm the little
Del Mar's.
thrifty, but we
You've
go.
been to
we
Trulux?
go to those
I have, yes.
Trulux is
We
excellent.
went there for our birthday. We had, what was
Speaking
it,
of which,
babe?
I want to pull up. I got the Easter brunch slide. We can perfect
Yeah,
transition.
let's work on that. We can get Bobby
So-
jumping in on some of this stuff.
Yes, please.
So the best dinner I probably ever had was at Trulux for my birthday.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Yeah.
The seafood's excellent.
Excellent.
The crab.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And
The
they
crab.
got Trulux. It's on Fifth. It's basically like right behind Ocean Prime, basically on the other
Yeah,
side.
almost connected in a way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I don't think
It's
it
right
made
near
it up,
the
Patrick.
theater.
I don't-
Right
I
near
don't
the
see it,
theater.
buddy.
It didn't come up.
I don't know. Let's see here.
Slipping, Tim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's slipping. Yeah.
So basically, we were going to talk about. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, actually, all right. We'll skip that one. But if you want to go to the slide for, there you go. Because you probably have done some traveling. I know Alyse has done some traveling.
Yes, yes.
Best airport for food and drink that you've traveled through.
You know, I would say Atlanta in Georgia. We had
You got a
nice
Popeyes
dinner.
in Atlanta, so that's good.
Well, yeah, you can't skip on that. You have to do that. Yeah, that's like a rite of passage.
I like Popeyes.
It's
I like
one of those
Popeyes.
things.
Yes,
oh,
that's a
I'm
rite of
connect-
passage.
I'm connecting through Atlanta. I get to go to Popeyes. What'd you say, Alyse? Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, Nashville. Well, that's a beautiful red state. We love our governor, Bill Lee. He's a great governor. Tremendous work. Great governor.
Detroit, which is it's not really in Detroit, but their airport is really good, and they got some good places in there. They got a good sushi spot. It's
I'll have
very
to check
nice
it out.
airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Broad?
This is international.
Yeah. Well, what'd you say?
International. Wow.
I have to say Rome has got a great airport. They got the
They
whole upper
they made
deck.
the top 10.
Yeah,
they were
they
on
got
the
the
top.
whole upper deck, and that's actually I think that's Dubai there.
I'm saying that, but they made the Rome made the top 10.
Yeah,
Dubai was number 1.
They got a pretty good setup there. Yeah, yeah.
You been to Dubai? No, never been.
No, we're gonna work on that.
Either.
Bobby, real quick, do you have one of Trump's watches? Could you do us a little quick commercial?
Well, you
on the
know,
Trump watch.
I
mean, I know you watch CNN a lot. But,
I do. I watch MSDNC. I religiously watch Rachel Maddow. I religiously watch Lawrence O'Donnell. What a lowlife. Actually, it's a funny story. Trump, it's funny. Lawrence O'Donnell actually had to take time off because he was so worn out by the beautiful Trump success and administration. But, I'll occasionally watch MSDNC or Deface the Nation with Margaret Brennan. Have you heard of it? Deface the Nation. She's a disgrace. But I watch those channels, and fake failed Meet the Press. Kristen Welker took over for the lowlife Chuck Todd. The legacy media is no longer in control of the narrative. They're no longer in control, and people like Fake Tapper on CNN and Jim Acosta, their time's up. And it's folks like Tim and Patrick who are carrying the day. They're carrying the day because they're going to tell you how it is. They're going to tell you it directly. And it's an honor to be here. And I'll tell you what. Actually, I just bought yesterday because it's actually an incredible buying opportunity. And I can say this because I don't work for any institution. I bought DJT stock yesterday, at least 100 shares of it, $17 a share. It's an incredible buy. I would encourage everybody to buy DJT, ticker symbol, Donald J. Trump Media stock. It's a great opportunity.
I figured you already had like 1 million shares.
Well,
But give us a watch commercial. It's
watch
a great
commercial?
watch. The
Well, I hear it's 24 karat gold.
The greatest
Beautiful
president.
gold.
right,
It's
24.
the best gold.
It's Gilded Age gold. I mean, 24 karat. It looks tremendous. The hands move like you wouldn't believe. The little hands, it's like diamond
The
encrusted.
little hands, like little Marco.
And they're not subject to tariffs. They're not subject to tariffs because it's 100% American made. 100% American made.
Is the watch
in
American made?
Hialeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
It's made in Hialeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place.
They delivered a huge Trump victory. I love those people.
No,
They
it's-
sure
hey,
did.
They
They
came in
absolutely
big,
did.
man. We can't make.
Well, he's
Dade
sticking
County
up for
was
those workers.
Awesome.
They were. He's sticking up for those workers with tariffs.
Yeah.
It's important that we bring it.
Yeah, let's talk about the tariffs. Are Americans
We already talked
gonna
about
work?
tariffs.
I know, but
How about
are
Iran?
they gonna
Can I
work?
just bring something up?
Yeah,
Let's talk about
talk.
Iran and the Houthis, because I think it's incredible what Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and National Security Advisor Tim Walz have done on the National Front. If you take a look at the Houthis, which is an Iran-backed terror proxy group that overtook Yemen in 2014 to 2015, toppled the government, Biden, he engaged in pinprick attacks, virtually doing nothing. Pete Hegseth, our defense secretary, has engaged in an airstrike campaign. Now, the true success of measure in these airstrike campaigns is the openness in the shipping of the Suez Canal. Can our American ships and other ships flow freely without interference? That's the true mark of success of regards to the airstrikes on the folks in Houthis in the Yemen. And I couldn't be more proud to stand alongside Pete Hegseth. He's done an incredible job. And I just think at the end of the day, we have a combat veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, 2 tours in that position. Princeton, Harvard graduate, Fox and Friends co-host, and it is just so great to see the revival of the American military, record high recruitment numbers, in large part because of Pete Hegseth and President Trump and Mike Waltz. So I think it's really important to talk about the success of that mission as well.
Yeah, and the thing about it is we've only been in it for about 4 months now.
Right.
So the best is yet to come.
Just be
Oh my
careful.
God, we're
who
only
you
3
text.
months in. We're literally only 3 months
Be
in.
careful who you text.
Not me. He exit. Just be careful.
Oh, yeah,
with
be
the group
careful who you
chat.
text.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, you know, Jeffrey Goldberg's a radical left Democrat of the failed Atlantic. His wife's a Democrat. She worked for Hillary Clinton. Donated to the Democrats. Jeffrey Goldberg traffics in garbage, conspiracies, and lies. He engaged in sensational headlines, vulgar headlines about President Trump. I won't even repeat them. But Jeffrey Goldberg is a disgrace. And I think that was a deep state witch hunt hoax. And I don't even believe any of it, quite frankly.
Who's some of your
Signal.
favorite?
I mean, who wants to
Hegseth
talk
was
about
pretty-
Signal? What the hell is a Signal, right?
Hegseth was pretty.
Well, that's the.
Well, I will say it's Biden's Avril Lavigne, his NSA advisor, DNI advisor,
Lavigne.
used Signal. The Biden administration authorized the use of Signal in their administration. Oh, by the way,
that's crazy.
Mark Warner,
crazy.
who sits on the Senate Intelligence Committee as the co-chair, he was on an unencrypted app in 2017 texting a Russian oligarch to get information on the Steele dossier and President Trump. So the Democrats are the ones who have violated the rule of law and use unencrypted apps. They're the ones that should be held accountable for the use of Signal illegally.
Well, it's funny because Signal supposedly erases, it's encrypted and all that. Again, working, at the sheriff's office, search warrants, a lot of high-end operations. We never use texting as a form of communication for things that are high level. So I don't know how, he got on the Signal app or he was added to that chat, but obviously they'll get it. They'll get it
Signal.
figured. Yeah, I mean, I got
Well, I
it.
think also, Tim, it's important to talk about, that mission was a 100% success. Not one American soldier died. We reopened the sea lanes. We sent a strong message of deterrence to Iran to stop funding the Houthis. And we held the Houthis accountable for the more than 250 missile attacks on our warships. The mission was 100% success. Again, no Americans died. I think that should be the focus, not the ancillary smokescreen issues.
We obviously know the backing behind it. Any little fragment of an issue, they've got nothing else.
Because they've been on their heels for 3 months.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
Who's some of your favorite radio talk show guy? I want to hear who's in your top 5. Give me your top
Ellen.
5 all time.
Sure. Steve Bannon of The War Room. I like Michael Savage out on California.
Michael Savage is the GOAT.
He's incredible.
He's the GOAT.
I, of course, listened a lot of the times to, when he was alive, Andrew Breitbart.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He's an American hero. But I think I spent also a lot of time even watching Fox News with Greg Gutfeld, Jesse Waters. I think that's the greatest duo on legacy media right now, Fox News. But most of the time, again, it's through reading that I gain the knowledge, experience in the political arena.
You don't have Rush Limbaugh in that top 5?
Well, I was going to get there,
He
but
was young.
thank you,
He was
Patrick.
young.
Thank you. But, I listen to
Michael
him.
Savage is.
Well, yeah.
But he's right there. Rush Limbaugh's, he's no longer with us. He also too really defined conservative media back in the 90s and 80s, right? So, he's incredible as well. But those are sort of the folks I listen to. Actually, even John Fratto's an incredible teacher, and he's given me a lot of political knowledge as well. If he's still on, so he's also someone I listen to.
He actually just gave you a real nice shout out.
Oh wow.
I know he's young, Tim. He also has George Washington and Abraham Lincoln as Mount Rushmore, so he obviously knows his
never really
history
got a
a
chance.
little
I'm a
bit.
time traveler.
But you asked him, who do you listen to? How the hell is he going to listen
I said
to?
top 5 all
How the hell is
time.
he
I
gonna-
didn't
no,
say
he said,
right
who
now.
do you listen to?
Oh,
said
and
top
Vivek
5 all
Ramaswamy.
Who do you listen to?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
You do know Russia's past, right? Okay, I
Did
just
he?
want to make sure. Just
When?
want to make sure you know Russia's
Yeah,
past.
he's no
R.I.P.
longer with
Used
You
to
did
golf
ask
in
who
Naples
does
a
he
lot.
listen to?
All top 5 all time. What about because top 5? Who would you put?
Candace Owens as well. I think
Candace
she's great.
Owens is great.
And
Who's that?
Top 5. Who would you put in your radio talk show host for conservative radio? Because Michael Savage, Rush Limbaugh, Laura Ingraham, Neil Bortz was pretty good too.
Neil Bortz, local guy here.
Yeah, local guy.
I like Sean Hannity. A lot of people don't. They're kind of tired of him, but he kind of does do a lot of circles. But
yeah.
he's
Ball
been
banger.
instrumental in putting Trump in where he's at.
I also like Stephen Miller, probably one of my favorite Trump senior advisors. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Looking up Stephen Miller, I know probably the audience knows him. He's an incredible advisor to President Trump. He's the border architect behind everything with Tom Homan. So we love him. And we love Tom Homan, too.
Tom Homan, get
Shout
to
out
meet
Michael
him.
Longo watching too.
Tom Homan, I got to actually speak with him, talk to him. Wow. That guy's like the real deal.
Oh, man.
A true cop. He knows law enforcement inside and out. And he doesn't back down. I mean, he comes at you and he doubles down.
I wouldn't want to be on his bad side.
I think what happened is they've had conversations. I'm sure he's had conversations with Trump, and Trump's saying, do what you got to do to get this thing right. Yeah. And he's pretty much giving him free rein to, wreak havoc on this immigration issue.
I couldn't be in more support of every aspect of how they've rolled out their immigration plan. I love every bit of it. I especially love the CCOT videos where they're sending these Trinidad, Aragua, MS-13 gang members. Have you seen those videos inside the jail where DHS Secretary Christine Saum? I love it. I think it's an incredible idea, and they deserve to be there, every single one of them.
Want to hear from the audience because people are commenting now their favorite radio talk show hosts. Mike Valdez and Mark Levin. My mom, Michael Savage.
Yeah, Michael Savage.
I got my mom listen to Michael Savage. I love Michael Savage. Great books too that he's written, and he had some great nicknames for his rival. The great one, Mark Levin. Yeah. Or is your favorite conservative radio talk show host, or just radio talk show host?
Howard Stern.
Period. Yeah, Tim's
Howard Stern back in the day used to be pretty good to listen to.
Howard Stern
was
amazing.
Jeez,
what are you talking about?
Howard Stern is awesome. His show is great. Now he's turned into this. I'm hiding in
We
my
want to
house.
get Beetlejuice on the show. Johnny Fratto said he's going to help us
he
get
wants to get
Beetlejuice on the show.
Beetlejuice
Johnny,
still
help
alive?
us out.
He's still alive?
Johnny said he's still alive.
I like those Beetlejuice. Yeah.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Help us out. Get Beetlejuice on the show.
Yeah.
What about?
We digress. I'm sorry.
We have
our IQ
fine.
is a little bit
we
lower.
do that
than
often.
yours.
We're
I apologize.
at the 8-minute mark. We get a little bit crazy towards the end. Usually we're doing push-ups. Right now we're doing.
We're gonna have a cold plunge contest in the studio. Someone's going to sponsor it. They're going to bring a portable. Well, you're going to have Patrick Dearborn, Blake.
There you go. You owe me $100. You owe me $100.
Blake Becker, Patrick Dearborn, Pablo from 239 Nutrition, and there's a fourth person that wants to get it. Someone could die though.
We are going to make them sign waivers before they do it because that's not going to be held in my.
You ever do a cold plunge?
Actually, I have. Yes.
Yeah.
It's brutal, but it's so healthy and rejuvenating for the body.
How long did you last?
Oh my God, maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah,
if that. It was cold.
They say if you stay in longer than 3 minutes, you
oh
could
God, I can imagine.
Yeah,
we can't afford to have somebody go down in the studio over some silly contest.
Hey, you got to do what it takes to win.
Hey, chaos is the
win
new
like
cocaine,
a cheeseburger or something.
It would get good views.
That's what it's all about.
You need
free
the
pizza.
views.
This guy said he'll eat a cockroach with
I won't
Old
be
Bay.
doing
It's
that.
got Old Bay.
seasoning
I won't be
on
doing
it.
that.
$500.
Oh, you're on your own on that one.
Ricky Haas said he'd eat it alive.
I know, that's crazy.
Johnny says he's going to get us Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, Bobby, we appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. And we had so many comments on here. You definitely got to look at the podcast.
So you got a future in politics,
podcast,
I think, possibly. If you want that, I don't know. Probably not your passion, but.
Well, probably not. But
do you know anything about politics?
I don't know anything. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know anything about any of it. I'm just up here.
What's your favorite book of all time?
Oh, that's a good question. My favorite book, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that one coming.
It's a beautiful book.
What's your favorite? What kind of music does Bobby listen to?
Well, my looks are deceiving, but I'm an old soul at heart.
Yeah.
An absolute old soul. So I like Eric Clapton.
Nice.
I like Jethro Tull, Locomotive Breath. I like CCREC, Credence
not the
Clearwater
club,
Circle.
not the CCREC
Well, I'm a
political
proud
club.
precinct voting member of the CCREC. By side, so very much so support them. But and John and Kathy Mayer are tremendous. But as far as music, I mean, oh my goodness, everything. But mostly classic rock. Much like Alyse. You talk about Boston, Kansas. Oh, I could go on and on and on. Now you got me going. I mean,
but how does like somebody 24?
John Mellencamp.
I got one daughter who's 26. How does somebody 24 even start doing that?
Mom
Through
and dad.
parents? Yeah.
My mom's an avid dancer. Well, she thinks she is. I think she is. Hopefully she's not watching. I hope not. I'm probably going to be in trouble on that one,
Little
right?
Freudian slip.
She thinks she is.
Maybe I'm going to be in trouble. Who knows,
Right.
right? I be in the doghouse. But
I know she's watching right now.
I grew up, kind of dancing with them as a young kid in the living room. And my first concert was a Jimmy Buffett concert. In 2012, my mom at the amphitheater in Tampa. So that kind of music is what I grew up on. But of course, I like Morgan Wallen. I think he's great. I listen to pop, of course. But really, at the end of the day, it's classic rock. And really, even have you heard of Leonard Cohen?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
that the dice
Yeah.
is loaded,
Absolutely.
right? I probably shouldn't be
Hallelujah.
singing. But
Could you sing it like one more
Hallelujah.
time?
okay,
Like,
so
that rings.
everybody knows that the dice are loaded.
Is there anything you
You
can't
know
do,
that one?
buddy?
I could probably.
Anything
yeah,
like,
probably
well,
You would know Leonard Cohen. Hallelujah.
yeah, Leonard Cohen, I did it in Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. No, that's like Trump's, that should be his anthem, I did it my way, because he does it, it's so perfect when he does everything. So I like Frank Sinatra.
What about 50 Cent?
Oh, yeah.
you gotta love
50 Cent, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, we love Snoop Dogg. I love all that music. I mean, I'll blare it, windows down, I have great bass in my car, so I love all that. Of course, rap is incredible.
Can't do a show without mentioning 50.
Old
Pat
and
Dearborn.
Yeah, no.
I love
50
In the Club. In the
50
Club's a
and
good
Pat
song.
Dearborn. I'm up 150 right now. I'm good.
Wow.
50
I
and
get
Pat
on
Dearborn.
this?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get on
you
this.
can get on.
What
What about
old
Trump Latinos?
Well, that's an
Bump Trump
incredible
Latinos?
group. I do. After John introduced me to them, because I think they worked on him with his campaign.
They did. I think I saw Alyse in a video.
Oh, with the beautiful, was that a Rolls
I'd
Royce?
seen
I
the
hope I'm
tape.
saying that right.
No, not you. Look,
But John
Double?
introduced me to them.
Yeah,
They're
Double?
incredible music, and they're patriots. I think they're great.
It's fun. Whatever.
What's that? Yeah, no, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah, we had fun. We had
Tim
fun.
did a hip hop
Yeah, we
video.
had fun with it. It was good. People take life too serious. I'm freaking.
Oh my God, they do.
I'm 39 years old. I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it.
You are.
You should, man.
You turn
Life is
You're
so...
turning
I turn
40,
40
on Thursday,
next
next
week.
Thursday. Yeah.
Wow. What are you doing
My,
for the
my
big
daughter's
40?
34, but I'm 40.
You do anything big?
Yeah, I think we got something planned. I don't know if it's a secret, but
Going
yeah.
to Culver's.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, so I like to travel a lot. I just went down to Puerto Rico. That was wasn't on my bucket list, I will have to say, but it was a great time.
What do you do for fun?
We
There's
do
just-
all that.
Oh, well, I golf. I'm an avid golfer.
What's your favorite golf course in Naples?
Oh,
real
I
quick?
do. I love Tiburon.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
I also like Treviso Bay, classics at Lely Resort, Flamingo, Mustang. Those are all courses in Lely. But Tiburon, I like to play from the gold tees. but-
Describe Tiburon's golf course in political terms. It's a big, nice green course.
The blades of grass are cut so sharply, and the water is aqua blue. It's almost like you think you're at Trump Doral
It's like the
or
Gulf of America.
Bedminster, New Jersey. What a beautiful course President Trump has there. Bedminster. You should take a look at that one.
Okay.
Got to do it.
You literally think you're there.
Yeah.
Tiburon really does keep up the course, even when the tournaments aren't being played there.
What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Oh, man, I try to stay away from fast food like RFK. We
Something
have that
quick.
in common.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, something quick. I'll tell
Trump
you what.
doesn't. Trump loves McDonald's.
No, I know he does. I'm going to say the Golden Arches, but actually I really do like
Golden Arches.
Five Guys, the peanut butter cup milkshake. Five Guys.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to try that one. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Sounds
But I have to watch my
I like-
figure so I don't go there
I like
too much.
peanut butter cup. That's the saying. I gotta
It's
try
so
that.
good.
Yeah,
But
I gotta try that.
when
Ready
you have
for
a
lunch?
milkshake,
You buying?
That's good.
when you do a milkshake, it has to
I
be the right
just lost
thickness.
$150 to you because of Patrick Dearborn.
Yeah, Patrick Dearborn.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
milkshakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's
no,
a
it's
lot of
That's
good.
a lot of
yeah.
milkshakes.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And how can they find you on social media, Bobby?
Yeah, so I am at the Southwest Florida Young Republicans social media. This is where I do most of my platforming from. And I'm going to be creating a channel with Alyse Fratto under Bobby Alyse Podcast, and we're going to be promoting conservative MAGA America First Golden Age agenda items.
Yeah.
Woo!
Killed
I
it.
love it.
Blake Becker said, you guys killed it. Shout out Blake, Johnny Fratto, Jen, Mike Valdez, Espo, all the people
Thank you
watching.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
We're
a
gonna
great
roll.
honor.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's a great
Thank you so
honor.
much for coming on.
Thank
we're gonna
you.
roll out with Dave and Jana. Relentless Hope. Hey, love it. You guys are awesome. Everybody point
Do the
right
Roger
towards the
Stone, do
middle.
the Roger Stone.
There you go. And we are